There it is. That's the theme song. That's all of it. Welcome, everyone. It's Owl Quest, Season 1, Episode 9. We are...
I clapped when I heard the theme song.
Good. Everyone, you can now return to your seats. You may be seated after that round of standing applause. Welcome back to Owl Quest, the game where you watch and we play. It's Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, starring us, all of us. There's 6 people here. One of them doesn't get to play. One of them just has to run this mess. Herd these cats. You have to herd all these cats.
Meow.
Please don't hurt him.
No cats are harmed in the making of Owl Quest.
Joining us tonight, let's round robin introductions. Playing the part of the feline druid, Savannah. We have Daysnick.
I'm here this time.
Yay, meow. As the wild card sorcerer, Dagwin, we have Germdove.
My brain cell.
You even did a thing. No one will see that. No one knows what just happened. That was such a dumb bit. I'm calling attention to playing the part of the sneaky thief Glane, the rogue, the roguish rogue. We have GameCube.
8 episodes in, and I've already resolved my major character arc. Let's go.
It's totally resolved. Nothing left to do on that. Playing the part as the orcish barbarian Carla Strongkick. It's Hovercat.
Hi.
She's across the room. And I'll be your elven bard, Dorian. And of course, give it up for the man of the hour, Al himself.
Meow.
Stop meowing.
It's me, Ow.
It's him. It's he.
We're back.
Oh.
After a week off.
What an episode last time.
What an episode last time. Does anyone want to give a recap of the last episode?
I wasn't here.
You know
True.
what? We have it written down. Thanks to Hovercat. She took the minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I could just read that.
Is there a way to have TTS read it?
Pull that up.
That'd be something.
It would be something. Let's see here. Where is that? Where is it? Wait, where is it?
Oh, we lost the last session, you guys.
Oh wait, there it is. Okay, I just didn't go far up enough because I saw a frog and I assumed that was way too far back. All right, are we ready? I'll read it, not TTS. There's limits on these things.
Discord does natively have TTS though.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
Speak
If you
message. Holy
Yeah.
cow. All right, well,
Yes.
all right, here we go. Discord. No, wait, hang on. That's not how I should. Computer, read me the minutes from the last session of Dungeons and Dragons Owl Quest.
H. said I'm sorry you had a rough day. You missed something.
Should we be hearing it?
Glane was
I can
glaning
hear
all
it.
over the place.
We cannot. Or I
Okay,
can't.
so
Probably
if
the
you
stream
recall
can.
from last time, we beat those harpies, but then
the
something hot
stream.
was quickly approaching.
Okay.
We had time for one action, which most of us used to return to the little building structure. Dobbs healed Carla slightly, but Glane decided to use his one turn to loot one of the tents. Prometheus showed up with some tentacle monster pet plus lots of goblins and hobgoblins. Glane rolled high and was able to figure out that the tentacle monster thing was actually Gary. Prometheus offered us a chance to join him, which we were set to accept and then use the closeness to steal the orb. But Glane stepped out of the tent and used his animal handling scroll to talk to Gary. He rolled high again and was able to let Gary know that it was him, Glane. Glane, Gary, and Prometheus entered into combat, as we were all forced to flee. We hopped into a minecart and started a skill test to try to escape. Gary almost got killed from one hit from Prometheus, and Glane decided it was time to hightail it out, but he was too late and had missed the carry, so the party was split. At one point during the skill test, Dagwin also got split from the party. But we were able to get word to our employers to flee and to escape ourselves. I think you were watching by the time we encountered the weird frog guy. I think that covers everything you missed.
There we go. So that covers everything up until the weird frog guy. King Glurplurp.
I don't remember a weird frog guy. I remember like a really normal
There was a
frog
really
guy.
cool
Pretty
frog
normal
guy,
frog
yeah.
yeah. Cool normal frog man. There may have been a different frog man.
With all the cool riddles.
Is Al actually a frog man? In real
It was his name is King
Oh, man.
Gerplurp.
I should have gotten Kronk to read it.
It's the last step
and
at the
then
end.
explode. So yes, we left the mill, fleeing. We finally joined up with Glane, and we met a frogman, and got his help to cross the river. And hopefully we've shaken Prometheus off our trail for now. In the meantime, we've gone to Goblerado, the city of goblins.
A famed city of
The
Goblerado.
the fabled city of goblins, Goblerado, in hopes of perhaps getting assistance from the goblins there. One of Prometheus's major assets right now is he commands the loyalty of a large number of goblins. And perhaps by meeting with the chief here, maybe we can learn some way to weaken his hold on them, or something. We did already receive some help from the goblins at Goblerado because our friend Dagwin has family among the goblins here, sort of found family.
Uncle Jav.
Uncle Jav, and we were able to obtain some help in the form of magical items that they have. He's the coolest.
Yeah, everybody got a new magical item.
Yeah.
It's pretty
And
cool.
Dorko is back.
Fan favorite Dorko.
Fan
is
favorite
here. Where is he?
Dorko. If I
There he
see
is.
one more piece of Dorko fan art, I'm just gonna flip.
Yeah. You guys are here in Goblerado. You just got all your new fancy magic items. What do you guys? What are we doing?
Well, I know last time we were discussing that we should speak with the Chief Bearbite about this whole Prometheus situation. Because these are the goblins that did not follow Prometheus. So maybe we can get some perspective from the chief on this sort of defecting force.
Yeah, I think Jav told you guys that there's been maybe like a little bit of a schism between the goblins and those that like Prometheus handpicked and those that he left behind. So maybe there's something there.
Yeah. So that's what I remember we were going to do. I don't know if there was other things that the rest of the party might be interested in.
I had offered to work on trying to figure out Gary's situation and offering some healing to the rest of the party because we got knocked up a bit, or what the rest of y'all did, while I was just along for the ride.
Way.
If you want to make a check on Gary, we can call that. If you just try to diagnose him, maybe a medicine check. If Savannah would like to make a medicine check on Gary.
Sure, let me find the button that has my. Where even am I?
I have officially
Oh,
erased
you're all the
my
way on the bottom
animal
down
scroll.
here. Move you to join the rest of the group. Yeah, you used to speak with animal scroll.
Gone forever.
That's gone.
I still had it on my page, so I just erased it.
Get rid of it.
Never existed.
It's not working for me. Hold on a second, I need to refresh my page.
Yeah, might just need to refresh.
Poor Gary.
You have a +3 too, so you could always just roll d20, and we'll add the 3.
Yeah. Excuse me.
So this was Gary. But times have changed.
I see the resemblance.
Yeah, it's there. It's there. I can see it.
Right now, can I?
I
open
purposefully looked for some art that had a
There we go.
like orange on the bottom and like black on the top to make like an inverted Gary.
Oh no.
Purposely searched for that. That was an intentional choice.
Mirror Gary.
So we're thinking medicine.
Yeah, I think so. Medicine, maybe Arcana, or it could be like nature.
Oh yeah, I wrote down what we were gonna do in chat there, just to make sure we wouldn't forget.
Yeah,
Cute.
medicine's
The
probably my best.
threads we want to follow is how do we cure Gary? How do we get the goblins to defect? How do we find Prometheus's lair?
I didn't do so great. I probably don't know anything.
You
This
go to
cat
examine
has 2
Gary.
legs.
Yeah, you're not sure what happened to him. Obviously, something changed him. Something sinister, it seems. And then speaking of that,
He's just
as you
like
go
that.
to you go to examine Gary, and Blaine's bond with Gary and his nat 20 being represented here, Gary begins to diminish a little bit. It becomes a little bit less fierce. Not cured yet, but he becomes a more
Displacer
normal-sized creature.
Is that a displacer kitten?
It's a displacer kitten, yeah. It's a
Look at
displacer
that.
kitten. Instead of becoming a quite large monstrosity, becomes a normal-sized cat monstrosity, one that hops up onto Glaine's shoulder.
Well, you know, he has the tentacles still, but at least he's cat-sized now.
Yeah, he's just smaller. He doesn't have quite as many health points, but you might be pleased to know that he retains his Displacer Beast features, other than the stats. He's just a much weaker,
He blinks
much
now.
smaller Displacer Beast. He's been scaled to be an appropriate,
Okay. Yeah.
not game breaking pet.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to just carry him around as a pet, then he'll be safe and he'll be fine. But if you want to actually take him out and have him fight in combat, there's a very real chance that Gary could die. So that's
What do you
up to
think, Glade?
First one, please.
Put him in your just put him in your inventory.
If you want to treat him as an item, we can hand wave sort of the perils.
Like
but
if I die, he might die, but I'd have to die first.
if you're not using him for any mechanical advantage, then
Yes.
he's safe.
Please, someone loot my body and take Gary if something happens.
He's quite a bit stronger than a normal cat. I mean, he has 13 hit points
That's pretty good.
as opposed to the 2 that a normal cat has.
Does he have more HP than I do?
Not quite. No, not quite. And instead of a claw attack, which does the minimum of 1 damage, because cats have like a negative strength score or something silly, it does a 1d4 plus 3 plus another d4.
That might be
So
more
he's
than
quite
you do.
Quite a strong tentacle attack, you know? If you're tempted to get him in there and fight somebody,
You could just chuck him at an enemy and let him go
you
wild.
do up to 11 damage on a max roll.
I would like to give him a scritch and stow him in a
You
safe
stow
pouch.
Gary. We'll just leave him out for now, just so we can look at him. if you
Yeah,
want
so it
to,
can be
but
there.
Yeah.
he scurries into your pack.
Are you checking your damage?
But you're not able to cure him. You do see that he's very much still cursed or something. You're not even sure if it's a curse, to be honest. That's just a colloquial term
It's
to
just-
say that he is affected by something.
It's just
You don't
something his
discern the
breed
nature of
does.
this.
Just an adolescent phase. He's just like
Yeah,
that.
they get really big and then they shrink down again. It appears like, something happened between Glane and Gary that has softened him quite a bit from this, like, monster that he was and kind of restored part of his old being, but he's not fully cured.
There's still some magic at work here, or something.
Is he physically okay, or does he still have a bunch of damage?
He looks
Like
fine. Yeah, he looks fine.
All right, let's go.
You guys healed him up quite a bit, actually, I think. You guys cast a couple healing spells on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he only was like 3 or 4 short at the end of last time.
He's full. He has his full 13 hit points right now.
All right.
Look at that. Topped off.
Welcome to the team, buddy.
Yeah, I just had to get that out of the way, because there's just absolutely no way that you can have a full Displacer Beast pet. It's like, no, it's not happening.
Cat's back in the bag.
He's pretty good, actually, for a pet.
Yeah.
For a level 3 pet.
All right. I'm not going to cross that one off the to-do list. We still need to cure Gary.
I would say he's not cured. Yeah, I would say he's not cured.
So that leaves the 2 other major things on our threads as figuring out how to get Prometheus's goblin allies to defect, and figuring out where Prometheus's lair is.
Orko says, I can cure it. I'll cure him.
He's got too many legs. I can fix that.
Yeah. He's got a knife.
Cat just supposed to have 4.
I move Gary behind my back and stare at him.
Yeah. So you see the camp is divided. It's sort of into the various factions here. You got the axe biters chopping trees up here. You got a couple dog jaws around here. The hobgoblins. Their tribe name are the Tall Ones. And you have the Blue Skulls, which is the same tribe that Chief Bearbite is, around the chieftain's tent.
So team, should we go talk with the chief about this whole Prometheus situation? I'm beginning to feel like our earlier ideas to trick him may not be quite as effective, as he seems a little bit more not dumb as a brick as we may have hoped. I think we were really banking on that, and
I really hoped with the reports of his brawn that he would have a little less brain.
no, he seems of average intelligence,
Oh, the
which
worst
is the threat
possible.
here, is that he's not outright dumb.
I think there's a couple of major issues. One, he has a lot of forces with him. He has a lot of goblins with him. So you want to try to find a way to even the odds there. But then 2, even without the goblins, he's still pretty powerful. So the previous plan was to try to lure him to the lake and try to and Valmoira was going to help you guys set a trap for him there. That was the plan up till now. If you guys have another idea,
We can trust her.
I think we can trust her.
I don't
Figure it out.
trust any NPCs.
Don't trust any NPCs? Oh. Well,
What
I
if
hate to
you
tell you,
were
but we're
once
surrounded by right now.
told that we were there, you know?
Yeah,
And we suddenly got surrounded by a lot of people.
we did.
And we told her where we were going. and
It was weird, and I really hoped to get more information from Prometheus about this before we fled, but something happened.
about how it seemed like
It
they got the jump on you guys
it was
at the lumber mill.
it was unexpected that they beelined it for us when we showed up, and I don't know if that was related to the harpies going down or what. And ultimately, it's not at this point. It's not going to help us to know.
unless it was someone telling him that we were there.
I guess that's true.
You want to make some kind of check about it?
Maybe I could insight something. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Make an insight
Let's
check.
check here.
Let's see if
I
your
noticed.
suspicions are onto anything.
Let's see. Let me replay that in my head a bit. Let me think about that.
17. Yeah, I mean, I think that this rings true a little bit. Dorian's got a sharp intuition about sort of allegiances and things. Not necessarily about Valmoira, but definitely you guys, you know, a setup when you see one.
A little too
There was a lot of guys
convenient.
waiting. There's a lot of guys waiting there. I mean, suddenly there, approaching very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Our plans were set in stone for a while from
Yeah.
for when we were gonna get to the.
Exactly. The lumber company group weren't the only ones that knew that we
What
were.
is the lumber company group?
What?
What is the lumber company
I
group?
mean, it could be the
Yeah,
entire.
I think maybe
PLC.
that dawns on you. So anybody who knew when you were going to the lumber mill
Mm-hmm.
could have been somebody who tipped off Prometheus or something like that. Yeah.
I told them we were going here.
Well,
I mean, there is
yes,
a goblin working at the inn.
That's true. I mean, there's a lot of suspicious characters there. So we.
Who told
There's
us it
always
wasn't-
Dorco.
There's always Dorco. Dorco's here. He couldn't have done on it. We did. So we got the sending stones, and we sent them a message to get them to safety and let them know where we were heading. And presumably they, well, I'd have to re-examine the map, but I think based on how far away it is, they would probably get back to the lodge before we have a chance to use the stones again.
You'd have to,
They're
you
only
wouldn't be able to
worth
use them
that.
until tomorrow for
Exactly,
sure.
exactly.
So yeah, I mean, assuming that they were going back to the lodge, yeah, it might be around the same time. That once by the time tomorrow rolls around, that might be about the time that they're getting back. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe if we wait until the stones charge and like early, because I mean maybe they're gonna camp on the way back. Maybe we can catch them
Yeah.
and just give them a slight
Try to send a message and like
Mhm.
suss things out.
something along the lines of, we suspect someone has fed information to Prometheus. Be careful. And do not reveal our location, if possible. That's something to consider.
Well, whenever you guys take a long rest,
Yeah.
and you have that recharged.
Let's
we
go.
can-
Let's go ahead and
think about
bake that
what's-
into the plan.
Do we even know if we can trust them?
No, we can't. We can't know that. So like revealing.
It's strange that they're the only ones who survive.
Well, they are the only ones that were told specifically not to come.
Well, no, from the earlier goblin attacks, because the
You know that they were. I mean, you know, this is all stuff that they've told you, so you have to take it with a grain of salt if you're suspicious of them, which I'm not confirming or denying.
Mm-hmm.
But to adopt your point of view, what you guys know is that they said they were all there and escaped the attack, like when the big attack happened, and they were the survivors of the attack, basically.
All right, so let's.
You recall some things that they said to you about you recall what's her name? Not forgetting her name.
Sharon.
Sharon. Yeah, Sharon. It's funny because she has like a very normal name, but it's like elf spelled. Sharon. You recall her telling you like how she was very grateful to the company because the guy that you work for, Liam Yang, had like given her a chance when she was like a young city ruffian and gave her a job when she was caught stealing. You recall Jacob Mel saying something about how the company pays really well if you get killed, like on the job or something. If that
Yeah,
means if those things mean anything about their motivations to you.
I think at this point we have no way of knowing for sure whether or not whoever fed information was one of the three that were with us or not. That being the case,
It could be anybody. It could be somebody at the lodge.
it
as
could be
well.
someone at the lodge. It could not be. So really, our two options are, and this is just us kind of going through all this information on our way to walk 30 feet to the chief. Our choices are: we either don't alert them that we're suspicious, in which case they will tell people at the lodge our location. Uh-oh, that's bad. Or it could be bad. Or we do tell them that we're suspicious, and that way if the mole is someone at the lodge, we're good. But if not, well, they still know where we are. We haven't changed anything. The only thing they know now is that we're suspicious of someone in general.
Yeah, I guess.
Well,
So your decision is like, do you warn them, or do you try to
What would
warn
be
them and bring
worse?
them in with you, or do you try to be suspicious of them and try to trip them up or something with a question?
Either way, they know we're at Goblerado. So if among those three is the mole or moles, if that's the case, then it's too late. They already know where we are.
I think as a conclusion to all this, on a 17, I think that what we'll say is that you know for sure somebody has given Prometheus information. You know that there is somebody here that is suspect, but you don't know who it is.
So I think Savannah's current concerns are valid, and we just as a team need to determine, what do we want to do, guys? Do we take the risk of tipping our hand a little bit and revealing that we're suspicious and we reveal it to the wrong person? Or do we take the risk that, we continue to reveal more information that we want about our location to someone who we don't want to have it?
I think the benefit of potentially not having our location get continuously leaked outweighs the risk of it still being leaked by the same people that we're confiding in.
That was my concern, is that plugs a bigger hole.
Right.
And really thinking about it, those three don't have a motive for betraying us. They don't stand anything to gain, really.
Then let's go ahead with saying that first thing in the morning, we will send them a warning message alerting them that someone at the lodge, let's specifically even say someone at the lodge may be feeding Prometheus information and to not reveal our location. And that way, that gives us plausible deniability. If they are in fact the mole, then they believe that we do not suspect them at all.
Cool. Let's put a pin in that.
Yeah.
And it'll happen when you guys take
pin.
your long rest. Hopefully we'll remember it. But yeah, we're planning ahead for this. But yeah, so we'll do that. I think I'll say, because the 17's pretty high, I'll just go ahead and say it's not Valmoira. I think that that she wouldn't have even necessarily known exactly when you guys were going to be there, but it just doesn't make sense to you that Valmoira doesn't seem to have the motivations to work with Prometheus. Yeah. That's like one person who you do trust on a 17.
All right, we got some
not
trust.
To be working with Prometheus.
Everyone else still a potential suspect, but we're weighing our options. Okay, so we had that discussion.
Well, you know who would have a motive, at least financially, to betray
I look over at Dorko.
Dorko. He was the puppet master all along.
Would be
Dorko's
the
like eating some dirt over the corner. Good dirt today.
Who did you say? Sorry, Savannah. I was distracted by a goblin eating some dirt.
The merchant who we traveled here with. He stands to gain the most financially. If he's going to be ferrying people back and forth, or is contracted with the company.
If this area is plunged into a perpetual winter and, the land's ruled by a power-hungry Cyclops, I feel like less people will want to come up here.
You would think that, but how many armies will come? How many people will want the honor of...
At this point, it's all cost-benefit. They'll come if it's profitable to, but as soon as the amount of manpower they have to send just to extract minimally profitable resources exceeds that profit margin, that dries up.
Dorian knows from his letter, from the coded language that Blue sent him, that people are looking to expand up here. There are people who legitimately would be hurt by this region being locked off by a mass weather event. But, I mean, anytime there's an opportunity for one faction to do well, there's probably another faction attempting to undermine them. So it could be like any number of like big players.
Well, and
That's
still
maybe.
privileged information. We're only a select handful of people know that.
Yes, I mean that's just Dorian's knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dugan doesn't strike me as particularly suspicious. That said, we can't rule him out, and we can't do anything either way right now. All we can do at the moment is push on and see about this situation with Cyclops having an army of goblins for some reason, and what we can do about that.
Do you guys want to try to still go to the lake? Just for the purposes, like, where do you see you trying to force a confrontation with him? Because I want to know from an out-of-character perspective, so I can make a map for it.
Yes.
But
I'm still interested
what are
in
you guys
seeing
thinking?
if we can find Prometheus's lair and do anything there. Like, is it heavily guarded? Is it open and easy to access? Can we get inside and find information about Prometheus and his current plans, or perhaps even steal the orb from under his nose?
I think the very first thing we need to do is talk to the chieftain, because I don't think we'll have a valid answer to that question until that's transpired.
yeah,
Exactly.
the chief might know.
Yeah, and that was as just an answer to Al's question. That's somewhere I want to go.
Okay.
The lake.
So possibly at his lair,
seems-
possibly at the lake.
Yeah, the lake seems less viable as a solution currently, just because I don't know. Prometheus seems capable of thinking ahead and picking battles to some degree. And so it feels like a bit of a long shot to kind of pit him against another strong creature. That's my
Okay,
take
yeah,
on
either
it.
one,
The
either
team
one.
may have different ideas.
Look, you're running to the lumber mill.
Yeah.
When somebody fed him some information,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you can feed him some information to get him somewhere else.
Yeah, and that
Maybe
would
stick it to
actually
his lair.
be perhaps the best thing we could do is track down the mole. Maybe. All right.
Not to keep delaying your talk with the chief,
Yeah.
but I just want to
Yeah.
make sure that
No,
we all
I
know what
think-
we're asking the chief to do.
Yeah, I think what we want to specifically talk with the chief about is, hey, all these goblins have gone off to join Prometheus. What happened? How can we get them to stop working for Prometheus? What, if anything, can be done about that?
Because I think combat against Prometheus is a lot more difficult when he's Prometheus and his army of goblins rather
Yeah.
than just one dude.
It's overwhelming forces. I mean, even having these goblins all joining us, that barely evens the playing field, if even. Like, that feels like that takes... These are apparently the weaker of the goblins, and numerically, I don't know where we stand against his full army. So...
Dorko dropped some wisdom on you guys that, there's different kinds of strength. There's different kinds of strength out there. Maybe you're underestimating.
Gosh, Dorko's right.
Maybe
He's so
Prometheus
wise.
is underestimating.
He's so wise, that Dorko.
That's some very strong dirt.
He's got the dirt.
Just dirt falling out of his mouth.
One other thing that could be useful, and I wonder if this is something that we can pull the strings on a bit, is maybe our three contacts from the ELC. I don't know if they could have their own adventure going on at the lodge to suss out who the mole is, and I mean, it'd be next to impossible for us to do anything meaningful at 25 words per day. But if they can find out who it is, then maybe we can get some false information fed to Prometheus for the sake of some kind of elaborate, multi-failure point plan where anything could go wrong at any moment.
Yeah, there's so many unknowns.
So many unknowns. Yeah. I don't know. The we'll consider that at some point. Is like, can they figure this out? Because we can't from here. That's for sure. Let's talk to the chief, guys.
You guys go all to talk to the chief. You guys approach a big tent at the back of the camp. You see some blue skulls outside guarding it, and they cross their spears at you as the party approaches. I'm assuming everybody's coming in for this conversation.
Yeah, get over here, guys. Get over here.
Guys over here. It's
Thank
fine.
you. Thank you.
What do you want with the chief?
Dagwood, do you want to take this one? You seem to understand the unique social structure here.
We want to find out about the other goblins. So we want to talk to the chief about that.
Dagwing, give me a persuasion check with advantage. Oh.
Is the character sheet like weird?
Yours looks weird.
I want to see his weird character.
What happened
sheet.
to that? Wasn't like that earlier.
Let's see his weird character sheet.
Were you messing with your settings at all? Oh, it looks normal now all of a sudden.
I see normal.
The one that it was defaulted to it looks broken.
Oh, is it the actions tab? Because that one's been broken.
No, like the spells tab. I don't even see my spell slots.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa!
But it's not like that for anybody else. Why's it doing that for you?
Nice. That's so bad.
It actually keeps like changing. It kept changing for me.
I think that's changing for what you see every time I change the setting on myself.
Just a
But-
big
Oh,
old.
why are you changing it?
Because the default one's broken.
That's so weird.
Oh, I guess let me just refresh.
Okay. Good idea. Well,
It
he got a
doesn't-
21.
It doesn't look broken on Dobbs' screen the way it looks broken on mine.
Yeah, when I pull up spells now on
That
Dagwood's
looks
character
fine
sheet,
now,
it looks
but it
fine.
did
I think I
keep-
see the problem.
It did keep changing a second ago.
It logged me out.
Nice. 21?
Yeah, that gets you guys in. They say,
Yeah.
oh, okay, go ahead and see the chief. You guys walk in there. You see the chief sitting on sort of a crude throne. He's got two guards next to him. You see Chief Bearbite. He is quite a small figure. I mean, he's a goblin, but what's noticeable about him is that he has a bunch of like mismatched, like looted armor, like these like pieces of plate, and like he's got fur, and he's got like this helmet that definitely like doesn't go on a goblin. It's like a orcish helmet, and he's got like these greaves from like a knight or something. It just totally like mismatched, patched together armor from all of his foes that he's beaten. And he has a big bite, a bear bite on his arm, like a scar from a big bite.
That's...
Like a big chunk was taken out of him.
He got that because of his name.
He got the bear bite because he was named Bear Bite from birth. Yeah.
Nominal
You just
determinism.
see the bear. He looks at you guys.
Meanwhile, his guard Cheese Plate is like, man, I got the good end of the deal here.
You know what's really funny is that this guard's name is actually Rat Trap. You see a little guard here who has like a bunch of rats that he's like are crawling around his arms and through his pockets and things.
Oh,
And you
nice.
see this guard over here, his name, there's no way you would know this, but his name is No Ears. He has no ears. So you just see that the Chief Bear Bite, you know, it's like addressing him, and he's No Ears is like, what? What?
Great. I love being at Goblerado. I love it
Yeah.
here.
Rat Trap and No Ears are his personal guard here. Chief Bear Bite takes off his helmet, looks at you, and says, "Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Goblerado."
How does it lag? I was about to make the exact same joke. I'm so sorry. We have only
Hello.
one brain cell to go around.
Hello, we are working on trying to find out some information that might help us fight Prometheus. And we're wondering if you could help us out with some information.
Wow, you got a thick accent. I can barely understand you. What are these guys? You guys are uptight.
Perhaps
You want help with Prometheus?
Yeah, we're gonna fight him, but we need help. What do you know?
Nah, Prometheus sucks. Oh, he used to be buddies, but he took all my guys. I don't know if I want to fight him though.
Well, let's say us folk could get your guys back, huh?
Oh, this guy, he's gotta speak my language.
Silver tongue. All right,
You
so
can
what's
get my guys back?
Yeah.
How's that gonna happen?
Well, that's what we wanted to find out from you is what is it that they left for? Why come they went off to Prometheus?
Oh, probably because Prometheus is like 15 freaking feet tall. It could squash him like a bug. They didn't have much of a choice. The goblin code is you follow who's the strongest.
All right, so say you got like 50 goblins here and there's one of him. What's to say that 50 of you can't take one of him, eh?
Look, bud, you don't get to be the chief of a group of guys like this by going taking those odds.
Oh, to find goblins like this.
Have you thought about wearing stilts though? You'd be tall.
We tried it, doesn't work. Still swallow
I love
over.
the image that they're like, okay, I got it, guys. Hang on.
The axe spiders outside are like all working on stilts, like they're patching together like stilts tied to other stilts. They're like so wobbly.
We've got our chief scientist on it. Stilt technologies in its infancy, unfortunately.
Now we tried 40 goblins in a trench coat.
It's a big trench coat, let me tell you.
Couldn't get a coat big enough.
Great.
So if just
What are
being
we talking
tall
about?
won't work, what do you think we could do?
I don't know. You tell me. What do you want me
All right.
to send my guys out there?
All right, let's say.
To do what?
So Prometheus has his big old secret weapon, his big boom sphere. He takes this thing, he levels a hut, whatever. He just goes about his business. Let's say he didn't have that anymore, and somebody else was using it. You think the goblins would follow the one with the orb, the bigger guns, eh?
Yeah, they might. They might. I see what he could do with that thing. He says, I don't know if that's gonna be enough though. You're gonna have to prove yourself first to these guys.
How about you tell us where he lives? Or where, he hangs out the most? And we'll go see what we can do about leveling the odds and come back and talk to you.
So this is about proving ourselves, huh? What are we gonna do to prove ourselves?
Well, like I said, goblins, they follow whoever's strong. So you're gonna have to show these guys that you know how to fight. So here's what I propose.
Carla
Five
just
of them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you
It's
guys.
1, 2, 3, 4.
He's
Lots.
really struggling. Bunch of you. I pick 5 of my guys, and you go up against them in the pit. You win, and my guys will do what you say.
The pit. That's the literal hole out there, right?
Yeah, we got a pit.
Yeah, it's a nice pit, I gotta say.
It's bigger than it looks once you go to the other map.
Wow, it's amazing how you get it to do that. My
This scene
compliments
does
on
not
your
do it
pit.
justice.
All right, I'll let my crew know then. All right, guys, I cannot keep that accent up for much longer. We're gonna have to fight.
Get
him.
all these guys know ears. What?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So, good news. They might be on our side with this whole thing if we prove ourselves in combat.
What if I just
Oh, but he's only gonna agree to this if you can roll a DC 15 persuasion check.
Oh,
Can you
okay.
can you roll a DC 15 persuasion check?
Can I roll a DC? You know what? Let me check if I could roll a DC 15 persuasion check. Let me give it a quick try. Okay.
Oh,
Now because
Okay, so that's a
that's a 17.
18, I think.
That's a 17.
Yeah, okay, so, so you pass.
Okay. Yeah. Thankfully, I took the what you call it, the silver tongue feat.
I didn't even ask you to roll a persuasion check because
Yeah.
you're just already so.
Because I'm just yeah. I mean, you may as well just so so everybody gets
It's
to
a
see
passive persuasion.
how great I am at persuasion.
Yeah, you persuade him.
Gabagoo. All right. So sorry, Carla. Did you say you were just gonna solo him?
All 5 of them?
Oh, wow.
I mean, I guess you guys can come.
I think.
and take all the
Listen,
fun.
I don't know. I feel like it might be a little unfair on them.
You could do a one-on-one against my biggest guy. You could do my biggest guy versus your biggest guy.
I mean, it's fine if everyone.
He says, Rat Trap, wake up the ogre. And you guys hear rumbling from this tent over here as
Do you want to face the ogre?
sleepy ogre stretches its arms and emerges from the tent.
I can give you some battle music.
No, it's fine. Everyone can participate.
Everyone can participate. Oh, good. All right.
Oh, who am I fighting?
Glenn, get your cat. Glenn, get your cat.
Gary versus the ogre.
Gary versus throw the cat. Gary, I choose you.
You guys ready? Does anybody want to do any preparations before they get into the pit?
So is this like a hand-to-hand situation or a weapon situation?
You look down into the pit. Give me a perception check. It's bigger than it looks. It's bigger on the inside.
Trust me.
It's not that much bigger.
How long have we been traveling to get from the lumber mill to here? I'm wondering if my mage armor is still active.
How long does that last? I would say, like, if you
I
cast it
think
before,
it's 8 hours.
you're good.
Oh.
You're still
Yeah.
going. It's
Yeah.
been like, yeah, it's getting to like the afternoon, late afternoon. It's probably like 4 o'clock or something. We had the whole morning was a wild escape from over the river and everything. 17. Sorry, what were you asking about the pit? How big is it?
I
weapons.
was asking about if we're supposed to bring our weapons.
Yeah.
with us.
It seems pretty rules light here at the Goblin Fighting
Great.
Pit. You seem yeah, it seems that there's not a lot of guidelines as to what is and isn't allowed.
I guess when we
there. You see, like, you look down, you see a couple of goblins, and one goblin is just like strangling the other goblin down there, and like nobody's watching. Like, it's like you're not sure if that's like a fight or if there's a murder happening.
Oh, great. Cool. Well,
So it's fine if we kill people.
That's gonna need to be a different check, I think. Give me an give me an insight check about that.
should I kill this?
I feel like I should just ask someone. Like, this is
You
life
can
or
ask
death or
somebody.
not.
You want to ask somebody? Yeah, you go up to a goblin. He says, "Yeah, people die in the pit all the time. It's not a big deal."
Okay.
Killing isn't frowned on.
Thanks, Dorko.
I'll bring my axe.
Go. I pit. Yeah, you kill people in the pit.
He's got,
Whatever.
He's got snails coming out of his mouth.
Or not. You could leave them alive too. That happens too.
Extenuating
you.
circumstances. You might leave him alive.
I
All right.
mean, I guess, like, anybody you kill potentially is not somebody that's going to help you out.
All right. Everyone on
in your
board then?
fights.
Yee.
Okay, this is your last chance to do any preparations.
I think I'm good.
I
Okay,
don't know
here we
what I
go.
would do.
Yeah, it's like
Going
I
into
could
the goblin-
I
mean,
could
don't know,
start
cast
some
spells,
music
cast some
or
buffs or something. Heal yourselves up. I don't know.
I'm a little bit hurt, but I'm sure I'll be fine.
Well, we're going into the pit. Oh yeah, you'll be fine. Don't even worry about it. Do I have vision on this scene?
it is bigger on the inside.
Okay, let me get a couple things set up real quick.
All right, so we're kind of, doing our stretches, getting ready here.
Before we roll initiative, go ahead and position yourselves. You can position yourselves anywhere on the left side of the map.
Can we ready an action?
I'm gonna say no. I think you guys are gonna start this on. There's no surprise round or anything happening here. I think that you guys are all starting on an even footing. So anywhere in this area is open, free game for where Savannah's at is fine.
Glane, would you like to be invisible?
Yes.
Okay, then stay close to me and don't roll higher than me.
So you see the opponents you're up against here. Let me tell you a little about the people that you're up against here as you're positioning yourselves. Yeah, you see up here is Robert Goblin. There's a hobgoblin up here.
That's Boblin the Goblin.
No, his name's Robert.
Okay, not Boblin.
You know, his friends call him Rob sometimes. Okay. Maybe Bob, but not Boblin. That's silly. That's really silly.
Rick looks incredible.
It's a silly name.
I'm surprised we're not facing off against Dorko in here.
You see sort of an older hobgoblin here. Like a crew cut, military-looking hairstyle, and he's got like he's heavier armor with like a tower shield and a longsword. You see that over here is Cold Nose, Blue Skull Goblin. It's not reflected in his portrait, but you see he's carrying like a handful of like these icy like spears that are like misting with like in the air. He has like like spears on his back that are like they just look like big icicles, basically, that he seems poised to throw. Down here, for the axe biters is Herc. Herc seems like a kind of a berserker. He's wielding 2 axes, one in each hand, 2 hand axes, and he's just like growling and hissing at you guys. Like he's very small. He's like extremely short and tiny, but so angry, and just like seething. Over here you have Porco and Lard from the Dog Jaws.
Which one is Porco and which one is...
So Porco and Lard is a goblin.
Okay.
Porco's the goblin. Porco's the goblin. He's a very squat, slack-jawed goblin. He's got this ill-fitting, stupid-looking hat on, and he rides this equally squat,
part of his
mangy-looking boar. And the boar is like cross-eyed, and the boar's name is Lard.
Okay.
And then you have the ogre.
And then that's Dorko right there. That's his true form.
What's the ogre's name?
That's the ogre. That's the ogre.
All right.
The ogre yawns. Let's get this over with. So tired.
And the Sarlacc?
That's just a spike pit.
Okay, just making sure.
That's just a pit of spikes with a plank over it.
Yo, everyone's kind of bunched up in one formation on one side, and then Carla's just like, all right, bring it on.
Well, I feel like someone should be on this side of things.
That's true.
Everybody can go ahead and roll initiative. If you open up the combat tab, you'll see all the dice. You can just click roll initiative from there.
I just kind of want to be behind Carla.
Yeah,
it's tight quarters in here. You noticeably, it's tight, a tight combat setting here.
Yeah,
this is not the place of strategic, like combat. This is a place where goblins get in and brawl with each other and beat the crap out of each other.
Okay, good. We're set.
I mean, not to say don't be strategic, but this is not a place that has like a lot of, things in it. It's pretty simple and spiky.
Right. I didn't want to roll high this time.
Oh no! You gotta use your buff spells, and then hide. Okay. So wait, what was our final order? Yeah, Savannah first, huh? Ooh, that's a lot of enemies going right next to each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just Porco and Lard.
It's just Porco and Lard. It's fine. Did Porco make that noise, or did Lard?
Yeah, Porco's squealing like a pig.
He does that.
Lard is just like...
He just does that sometimes. Okay.
I love that Robert Goblin, like the old guy, Hobgoblin, is like dead last on initiative. He's supposed to be like this like veteran
He's
warrior.
just not even gonna get a turn.
He's just so slow, yeah.
All right.
What would you like to do, Savannah? What are you thinking?
Make us proud.
The world is your oyster. First act in combat.
Well, I haven't used this before yet. So, what if I were to use my starry form and choose Archer?
Great. That's a bonus action, and you get to make an attack immediately when you cast it as well. When you activate this form, and as a bonus action in your subsequent turns, you can make a ranged spell attack, hurling a luminous arrow that targets one creature within 60 feet. Yeah, that's all. You do that.
Okay.
Savannah activates her starry form. She becomes like this like void galaxy with like constellations for like bones, like some kind of crazy looking constellation wizard, or druid. You turn into like a stars basically.
Mm-hmm. And in the shape of an archer. And I hurl a radiant luminous arrow.
Who are you targeting?
Okay, what's this dude's name? Herc.
Herc.
We're gonna start with the Angie guy. And we're gonna smack him with a fancy glowing arrow that does some kind of crazy damage.
So I think it's a range. I think it's a ranged spell attack.
It's 1d8 plus my wisdom modifier.
Yeah, you gotta make a ranged spell attack first to see if you hit.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a d20 plus your wisdom plus your proficiency, which is 5. Plus 5 to this attack. You get +6 actually. Your moon sickle gives you a +1 to your. You get a +6 now. Is your ranged spell? I believe that's correct.
Okay, so d20 plus 6.
Yep.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure I hit.
Okay, great. Now roll the 1d8 plus 3.
Okay.
8 damage to Herc. Very nice.
And I'm
That's just a bonus action.
Yeah.
Now go kill him. Go kill a man.
Blah, 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 blah. As a...
Herc seems angrier, if possible.
And I'll go ahead, I guess, and cast Fairy Fire on Herc as well, since
you might be able to hit. It's a 20-foot cube, so you probably could hit multiple people if you are strategic about where you place that. Go ahead and cast it, and I think if I have it set up, it should give you a targeting cube for it. So if you could just go ahead and cast it. I think I have that turned on still.
So...
Germdov's got the same idea. That'd be great, Mac.
Oh, you know what might actually be better? Let's do Thunder Wave. And that's a 15-foot cube.
Originating from you, so you would have to get closer to do that. But you could do that. Yeah, that is a cube that originates from your location. So it's a cube in front of you.
Ooh, and is pushed 10 feet away. Into a pit? Not great. You know, nobody's close enough to the pit and you right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at my spell options. Entangle could be fun.
Anything you want to do, yeah.
Let's try and entangle the Herc and the mounted goblin. That's a 20-foot square.
Starting from a point within range, 20-foot square. Okay, can you cast it and just get the targeting icon for me?
Cast spell.
Place measure template and place it where you want it to go.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, great. Do they do something immediately when you cast that on them? Let's see. This is difficult terrain for them, so a creature must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained by the plant until the spell ends. Okay, great. They're gonna make all these guys are gonna make strength saving throws. What's your DC is 14. Okay, here we go.
All right, trap them all. Trap them
Kirk.
all. Get tangled. Ooh, that could be difficult for Carla. 'Cause she'll have to move through it, but I think she'll be fine.
It is going to create difficult terrain for anybody trying to move through there, but it's not going to restrain anybody who's just trying to move through there. Only the people who it's being cast on. Okay, Herc fails.
Yeah!
Herc gets entangled up in vines.
That's one less person to worry about.
Orko and Lard are going to make that save.
Yeah.
Darn.
Pigs are good at getting through the brush.
Actually, they fail. They also fail. On a 9. The ogre is also going to have to make that save. A little bit better at strength saves than those guys are, though. This ogre rolled a nat 1.
Wow.
So they're actually all tangled up. They will have to make
Good crowd control.
use their actions to make strength checks to repeat that again. Let me just get my rules up about the restrained condition. What are they allowed to do? It's pretty bad.
All right. Well, that's if that's their action is having to get out of that. That's huge.
Attack rolls against them have advantage because
Nice.
they're restrained. They have a disadvantage on attack rolls, disadvantage on dexterity saves if you have dexterity things to throw at them, and their speed becomes 0, so they can't move right now. But they can still attack. They're just going to have disadvantage.
So Cold Nose is basically the
strong.
only one we have to worry about this turn for a bit.
You're welcome.
That was
Strong entangle. You see roots, like vines and roots, come crawling out of the earth and like.
that feels
tangle up
unfair,
all these guys.
honestly.
Well, speaking of that, Porco and Lard are going to use their action to attempt to break out of that, making a strength check.
Real quick, before
You have
we move
movement
on,
as well, if you want
Well-
to.
I don't really want to move per se. I'm happy staying behind the barbarian.
Uh-huh.
But I just like I assume these guys aren't super used to strong magic. So the fact that I just turned into a star formation instead of a cat person, like, is there any kind of intimidation factor we can score from that?
If the spell doesn't say it, it doesn't do it.
They might be shook by it, but I think that being entangled up and restrained and have difficult terrain, I think that's pretty punishing enough already for them. Porco and Lard do not break out of the restraints. You see that this boar is thrashing around and like falling over as Porco tries to like pull on the reins, and not helpful at all, just like pulling on vines and pulling on the reins. He uses his whole turn to do that. Well, he can't move and he uses his action. Yeah, that's it for him.
Nice.
He can't do anything else. Totally locked down his turn. Cold Nose is going to go though.
There we
See
go.
Cold Nose. He's like scrunched up face. All right, guys, I got this.
Well, first I'm gonna move
He's
my
going
spear
to.
into
I want
attack
to take out
mode.
that. I want to take out that star. And he's going to throw a spear over at Savannah, seeing that you're casting some powerful magic here. Actually, he needs to move. Let me check the range on this. No, he's good. Okay, so he's going to make an attack on you. He takes out this icicle. It's basically just a big icicle. It's not like a fancy magic thing. He's just rolled a nat 20.
That's not great. That could be better.
Could do better for me, yeah.
You get hit by, let's see, it only doubles the dice, not the extra damage, so you get hit by 7 piercing and 6 cold damage for a total of
Yeesh.
13 damage.
Yeesh.
As this icicle just pierces into your side. That's unfortunate, but I need you to make a concentration save for this entanglement.
She
Is
has.
this concentration? Is this concentration? Hold on, let me just. It is. Okay. Do you have the sharp mind robes
She
on?
has the sharp mind
I
robes.
do.
You may use a reaction to automatically. Wait, is that even right? I think you can. You can attempt to roll first, and if you fail, then you can use it as a failsafe. So you might not need to use it. So you're just gonna roll a Constitution saving throw, and the DC is 10 to hold on to concentration.
Well,
Yeah, Constitution
I
save.
have a button for concentration, and I have a button for calm. Which
Same
one do I-
thing. Yeah, you can hit either one. It's the same thing for you.
Focus. Focus. Don't let those plants down.
Okay, so you feel concentration slipping as you have so many things going on right now. The plants and the stars. You never used this ability before. Do you want to use your reaction to hold on to that spell?
Yes.
A little shock. Oh yeah, I almost lost focus there. That's Cold Nose's full turn though. He just has the one attack, but it's a strong attack. You see that the spear is like, you see extra cold damage on this spear that he throws.
What was the total number?
13 total. Herc is gonna go. Here's what Herc's gonna do. Herc is going to, he's just gonna try to break. He's gonna try to break out of this. He's gonna go into a rage with his bonus action, and he's gonna roll a check with advantage to break out of this. Yeah, he rages. Incredibly, he rolled a 1 and a 4, and he also uses. He goes. He's so mad. He's just thrashing against these.
Angry at these
He
vines.
can't get out of it. He cannot get out of these vines. Incredible vines.
This is Vine.
Even with the advantage, he still rolled low. Okay, that's Herc's turn. He has no action left and no movement.
All right. Well, there we go. That was something.
Dorian, your turn.
Hey, Glane, go cause some problems, buddy. I'm casting invisibility.
You got it. Make sure you cast it on Gary too.
Of course. He's an item. It counts.
Just Gary and
Yeah,
not Glade.
Just scary. That's my level. That is my level 2 spell right there.
Level 2 spell slot.
And then we're gonna do Vicious Mockery. So disadvantage on the next attack roll someone makes. I'm trying to figure out who is going to get the opportunity to make an attack roll again. 10,
I think invisibility takes your action.
Oh right, because it's not a bonus action, that one.
So you can't do both of those, but you do have a bonus action to do something else.
Yeah, and I can use it for Bardic Inspiration.
I could use.
I can't use Healing Word. I'm sorry.
Would it give the ogre a disadvantage on trying to break free?
Actually, I do have Unsettling Words. That's a bonus action. Yeah, actually, that's a decent shout. Let's do Unsettling Words. That on the ogre, and that's gonna reduce its next saving throw by not very much, but every bit helps. 6.
Max
That's actually decent. That's actually decent.
Okay, please try to remind me of that next time he's
All
making
right,
a saving
I'm
throw.
watching that ogre.
He's
coming up after Dagwin, so. All right, that's my turn. I'm done.
Dorian says something very unsettling to that ogre.
Listen here. You are trapped by a
Glane,
root.
Glane, you go invisible. You guys see Glane vanish before your eyes as you are turned invisible. Yes. Wow.
Glane, stop talking.
Dagwin, that's your turn.
I'm gonna hit him with the old reliable. I'm gonna do a twinned spell Ice Knife. I'm gonna target Cold Nose and the ogre.
Great. Let's go ahead and do that. This is also going to trigger Wild Magic Surge, but let's go ahead and do the Ice Knife first. I do believe that you've been sitting on your Tides of Chaos is down, so let's do the Ice Knife first. Roll an attack roll for Cold Nose.
Oh no.
For this.
Every time. I just worry we're about to completely die immediately.
Attack.
You should be out of range. I'm not, and I only have 3 hit points. 4.
Yeah, that's
4
true.
hit points.
You're gonna run
That
into the pit.
hits. Roll the damage.
Six.
Ooh.
6.
Okay, how much of that is the cold damage?
9 of it is, but you might want to remember that.
You do bypass cold resistance. However, what happens if he passes the save? That it does no cold damage or does half?
Let me check. It does succeed on or so all
Okay,
of it.
so he doesn't take any of the cold damage, but he does take 3 piercing from that. As he passes a save, he dodges the icicles, but you do see that he gets hit with the main attack. Unfortunately, the bulk was on the cold there, but you see the coldness is fairly dexterous. And then for the other guy, who else are you hitting with the other one?
The ogre.
The ogre, great. Okay, he's going to make a dex save,
Wait.
and he's going to subtract 6
That's-
from this.
I need to do another attack roll, don't I?
Do you
Yep,
want
another attack roll.
that? Will pop my unsettling words on him, which is good damage, but it means he's more likely to escape the vines. Go for it. Go for it.
The unsettling words is just saving throws, right?
Yeah, the next saving throw.
I don't think he's making saving throws to break the vine. I think
Oh, okay,
Unsettling
it's a
Words
strength
lets
check.
him make a strength check to break
Got
the
it.
vines. So yeah,
Let it run.
it wouldn't affect that.
Good, good. Got me worried about these vines so much.
What did I come up
They're
with?
holding. I saw a 10.
I saw it roll. So 10 plus.
Yeah,
Whatever you
I
add.
didn't place the template down first. I'm just gonna roll it again. We can take the first roll, that's fine, but this is just for the modifier.
It was better, so we don't have to worry about it. Either one would have hit actually, because with your
Yay.
modifier, it would have hit.
Easy.
So yeah, roll the damage for that, and he's gonna make the dex
So
save
many
minus a
dice.
6. Fails the dex save. He, with his 7 goes down to a 1.
Great.
Uh,
I love it.
So that's a full 13 on him, I think. Yeah, full 13 damage on him. Now go ahead and roll 2d100
Oh no, here we
for your
go.
wild magic surge.
2.
You have a new, yeah. You feel the primordial shard glowing.
So
Okay,
we-
let's see what these 2 rolls actually were. Wow, 98.
85.
85.
Those are
So-
high numbers. I don't like those ones near the edge.
I like this one. I really like this one, actually. I'll choose
have-
the mirror image, please.
I just want to look at what these 2 are.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have my table up. Okay, so just for everybody else, Germs already knows what he wants. 85 he can cast mirror image. 98 he can be surrounded by faint ethereal music for the next minute. So he's gonna take the one that benefits him, obviously. you feel a possibility where things could become very whimsical, and you take the practical option. 3 illusory duplicates of yourself appear. Anytime you get targeted with attack, they have to roll to see if they hit you or the duplicate.
Which one's the real Dagwin?
Dagwin's a displacer beast now.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me.
Great. Okay. Cool. Dagwin is you see 3 or 4 Dagwins. You can't quite tell. Over there, you see no Glane.
As much as we know about his wild magic, we could just as easily assume there are actually 3 or 4 Dagwins now.
Yeah,
There's
you're not
nothing we can
sure
do
if it's an
about
illusion or not. All right, the ogre is going to make the strength check and try to get out of the save.
He is pretty
His
strong
action.
looking.
It's actually insane, but he just rolled another nat 1. He just rolled another nat 1. I'm not even lying.
You need
I'm
to roll
not
these
lying.
on screen, dude.
That's so bad. The ogre, does he have a bonus action? This spell sucks.
Save or suck.
Yeah, that's all he's got. That's all he's got. It's all good. It's all good.
All right. Ooh.
Glane, you're up.
Stepping up to the plate.
All these guys are just struggling with these vines over here.
All right.
All right. I would like to pull out my hunting bow and aim right at that ogre.
Okay. You're gonna make this attack with advantage because you're invisible.
And also,
and
he's Tangled.
And this is a sneak attack. Just so we're all writing that down.
Yep, yeah, because you're attacking with advantage, that makes it a sneak attack. You attacking with invisibility does drop invisibility, so you're just getting a 1 free attack.
One use of this. Make it count.
Hunting bow. And then, hang on. Always does this. Then I go here. Attack.
No one would expect him to fire from the spot he disappeared from.
That's a hit.
All right. On top of that, I would like to use Whales from the Grave.
Okay.
Does this let me like spookily talk to anyone or try to intimidate them with like ghosty talk, or is this just an attack?
Everybody really wants to intimidate these guys.
This is necrotic damage.
Yeah. So it's gonna be necrotic damage. It's gonna be your bow damage plus your sneak attack damage plus your 1d6 necrotic. That's what you're gonna roll right now.
It also damages the original creature.
Which original creature?
The Whales from the Grave damage.
You're right.
It bounces right back to the ogre too.
Yeah. Okay. So which creature are you doing that
whole thing about the also dealing the damage to the first creature, is that available right away? It says 17th. What does that refer to?
Yeah, that might be a later part of the feature. I'll look that up real quick. But go ahead and roll all the regular damage from your attack, the bow damage, and roll the sneak attack damage.
Okay, here's the damage from the bow.
Oh, at level 17.
That effect only happens when you hit level 17. So you can do the damage to somebody else right now, but just not that d6 won't happen to the ogre. It'll happen to whoever you choose.
So I can hit the necrotic damage to Robert Goblin.
You sure can. Absolutely, you can.
All right. And so
okay, so 7 from the bow itself.
Yeah.
That's good. How about your 2? I think you got. Are you rolling 2d6 sneak attack now, or are you up to? Are you still 1d6?
Let me pull it up.
2d6, yeah, 2d6 for sneak attack, and then 1d6.
So I can just roll those d6s then.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So let me get back on that screen.
Yeah, whatever the 2d6 is happening to the ogre, and then the 1d6 will happen to Robert Goblin.
So here's the 2d6s for the ogre. I said 2, but alright, I'll roll another one.
You did 1d6 plus 2 somehow. I don't know why that's happening. Why do you have a random +1 to everything? Why is that happening?
Yeah.
Why is that happening?
Do you have a 1 in your box?
Something about what you're clicking. You said you did 2, right? That has to be related because you said you did 2 and it added +2. And when you did
there's
1,
a 0 and then there's a minus and a plus.
Okay, that's the modifier.
Just all you have to do is just click the d6 once to roll a d6 or twice. Yeah, however many times. And click nothing else.
That's probably why that's happening all the time.
Right,
should I re-roll or just use those numbers that we got?
We're gonna just use those numbers. So it's 1 damage to Robert. We're just gonna use. No, I'm sorry. You haven't rolled that yet. This is 1 plus 4 sneak attack damage, which is another 5, for a total of 12 damage to the ogre. And then roll 1d6 for Robert Goblin.
Robert Goblin, and are we intimidating him or no?
He's so intimidated by this. He's getting so intimidated by this random 1d6 damage that's coming from a screaming hellish ghost or something. Like it's like from an invisible man shooting a bow.
Can I say something to him? Like
yeah.
With
my mouth.
Kill the ogre or I'll drag you to hell.
Back in my day, goblins fought with honor. We didn't use these tricks.
Worth a shot.
I do not associate goblins and honor.
Well, that's
Dorko. We look up to Dorko. What's Dorko up to up there?
I remember back in the Goblin Wars, we were 4 miles. Just starts going into a story.
I would like to end my turn by using my bonus action.
Great.
I would like to take aim, or ready aim, or whatever it's called.
That's not going to do anything for you because you have to use it for your. It only lasts for your current turn, so it's not going to carry you into your next turn. So that only helps you if you use it like before your action. But you can do something else with your bonus action. You can do that if you want to, but it does nothing.
Right. I thought it was like a priming for the next turn kind of thing.
It is, but it only primes for the current turn. It's like specifically built so you can't do that.
Okay. Then, do I have any other bonus actions I can?
You can hide, or you can attempt to hide maybe.
I'll try to hide. I'll try to like.
I don't know where you're hiding in here though.
Behind me.
Well, I mean, I was invisible
Dorian,
until just a second ago, so I can just kind of.
When you're very not invisible.
Kind of creep against the wall here.
Great.
Sure.
Cool.
You attempt to go ahead and make a stealth check to attempt to hide behind Dorian. Make with disadvantage.
Okay.
Because there's actually nowhere to hide here.
Don't. He's gonna get
meanwhile,
220s. He's gonna get 220s every time.
With
Every time
disadvantage?
GQ is asked to roll for something that should be impossible. Okay, thank goodness.
Robert Goblin begins advancing towards Glane.
Good sir.
I'll just step out of your way. Oh yes, of course. Yeah, go right ahead. Come on through.
He's going to attack Dobbs actually. As
Thanks for that.
He says stand aside, but he doesn't have the movement to get to Glane, so he is going to attack you.
Love it.
All
right.
Robert Goblin makes 2 longsword attacks.
All right. Oh, fear my 14 AC.
So he hits you once for 5 damage. Comes at you with his longsword, and holds his shield up. Side wants to slay that ruffian behind you.
Same.
I have no quarrel with you, but you're allied with a foe. And that's Robert Goblin's turn. Savannah, you're up.
Did we skip
Carla?
Carla?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I did totally skip Carla. Carla, what were you gonna do? We might retcon that if I messed up your turn, because I would roll in favor of you. What were you planning on doing?
I don't know. I hadn't decided who I was gonna kill yet.
Okay, we'll just understand. You're just
not
gonna
who
go
you're
now.
gonna attack. Who you're gonna kill.
I totally just skipped you. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
But go ahead.
Who you gonna kill?
I think I just hit the button on it twice to go to the next turn.
You get advantage against anyone in the green.
That's true. All these guys have advantage against them because they're currently restrained.
Across the pit to get the ogre.
This is difficult terrain, so what that means is that every square is going to cost 2 squares. So let's see how much movement you have. 5, 10, 15, 20, and this is 30. You have 40, right? You could get to here to get in range of hitting the ogre, yes.
Alright, let's do it.
That would be all your... I think you have 40 movement as a barbarian, if I'm not mistaken.
Her sheet says 30? I don't know.
Maybe you don't have that yet. Maybe that's a feature you get later. I might have lied. You might not be able to get to him. I think barbarians do get a passive extra 10 feet, but maybe not yet or something. I could have been getting.
That's fine. I'll kill somebody else.
Yeah. So you can't get to melee range of him. Quite.
5th level. Level 5 is she gets the extra speed.
Okay. Yeah. Where were you? Right here?
Yeah, that's the spot.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Can I do this guy?
Get Herc.
Porco guy?
Porco,
5, 10.
I don't think you could with 30. No, because getting each of these is 10 really instead of 5, so you couldn't quite get there either. They're just out of range. Yeah, you can definitely attack Herc though. You can attack with advantage.
I wonder if Carla is raging.
I am.
Carla goes into a rage.
I think I have to roll the thing.
Oh right.
Yeah, roll on the wild magic table.
Did you guys know that Carla has wild magic now? Every time she
wild
rages?
magic going on. So much crazy magic is going off in here against these goblins who are all like armed with.
There's some bad wild magic going around.
I don't have that table up either. I'm so unprepared for all these wild magic surges.
Let's see here.
Okay, Barbarian, Path of Wild Magic. Let's look at our table here. 4. Magic infuses one weapon of your choice that you're holding until your rage ends. Weapon's damage type changes to Force, and it gains the light and thrown properties with a normal range of 20. This is interesting.
So she can.
You can hit those guys now with your axe. You could throw it. You have like a Thor's golden axe. You could actually throw your axe and hit those guys because they're within as long as they're within 20 feet.
So I'm gonna stand in front of this guy and throw my axe at the other guy.
You could do that. Yeah, you walk up like you're gonna hit this guy. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. And then you just throw your axe over him, I guess. Or you can attack whoever you want. You have 20 feet to make this attack.
The axe from Astrobot.
And you'll have advantage because they're all entangled. So really, it's dealer's choice of who you want to go after here.
Okay, well...
20 feet, yeah.
I still kind of want to get the ogre, so I'll go for him.
Okay, make an attack with advantage.
Alright. Let's see. How to do this.
Oh yeah. You gotta double click your character.
Double click my character.
Then you gotta go dig up your inventory.
That's what I always forget.
Then you
You
gotta
want to use the great tax.
great tax.
Yeah.
That's the one.
That's
When you score a critical
I
hit,
forgot about that.
you magically earn a number of gold coins to twice the damage dealt. That
Can I do it with
will add
advantage, that right?
yeah, I think he said advantage because he's in the. That's
It's not
pretty
twice
good.
damage, it's just the amount of damage.
Oh, okay.
That hits the ogre.
Yay.
Your axe makes like a slot machine noise.
That's the amount of damage dealt.
Doesn't actually dispense any gold on this
That's too bad.
attack. 11 damage to the ogre. The ogre is getting messed up. He
He's having a bad
has entered into bloodied
Uh-oh.
and passed it actually with that attack.
day. He's on the ropes.
Yay.
The ogre hasn't even done anything yet. This is embarrassing.
He like, just woke up from a nap.
Oh man, Savannah
He just
really
looking for a
screwed this
nap.
encounter.
All right, Savannah, it is your turn. Robert Goblin already went.
We have
so
made
back
it.
at the top of the turn order.
Everyone, congratulations! We've made it through one round of combat.
Clean up
Forever.
some of these targeting circles that we're no longer using.
Forever sleep.
So, first thing I'm gonna do is healing word on myself.
Okay.
Because I am not feeling happy with these 4 hit points.
It's
Uh-huh.
reasonable, honestly. TBH.
There's a button I push for that here somewhere. Healing word. Okay, click that.
Yes.
Cast spell. Okay. Oh, nice. I get 11 hit points back.
Dang, that's a strong healing word. With your moonsicle, you get that extra D4.
Yeah. Okay, so
Good.
I feel much better.
Savannah's looking very much restored.
And I can.
That's a bonus
still-
action.
But you can't use another leveled spell.
Yeah. So
That's
I
right.
I can now use my light arrow thingy again.
Well, I hate to say this, but that requires a bonus action as well, which you just used on healing word.
Okay.
So you have an action, but you can't use the Starry Form Archer attack because you already used your bonus action.
Okay. What does guiding bolt count as?
That's a spell, which you can't use another spell if you cast a spell as a bonus action.
Okay.
Basically, you can cast a cantrip, or you can do any of the other actions, which are attack, dash, disengage, dodge, help, hide.
Okay.
Any of your basic actions, or cast a
The
cantrip.
standard stuff.
Oh, that could be evil.
What
My
could
can-
possibly be so evil?
My cantrip is create bonfire. And there's a field of. Oh, that could be evil.
A field of what? What? What's happening?
Of vines and whatnot, entangling.
Ooh. It does specify
You
that it
want to set
ignites
that on
flammable
fire?
objects that aren't being worn or carried. I mean, they're not. Are they? Well.
That's an interesting
Interesting.
interaction. that is not exactly a ruling for that, but we can make a ruling on it. Do you want to catch the vines on fire?
Keep in mind the vines are ensnaring 3 enemies.
But they could also take fire damage.
Well, I think it's not a both.
On fire.
I think
and
it's
then
an
leave
either or.
the ensnarement.
I think it would probably do damage.
I think that I'm willing to like work with the idea of lighting the vines on fire, but it's definitely going to be a trade-off of these vines are no longer going to be here anymore if you want to light them on fire. But there's a potential that you could light all these guys on fire.
It'd be one thing if you were igniting gasoline and they remained on fire. These vines are going to be gone.
I assume it'd probably be a one-time damage.
Yeah, I think it'll do some extra fire damage. It'll burn them. There's like a rule for being on fire, so it'll probably do that amount of damage, and then they'll be gone.
Maybe that's not.
The funny thing would be to light those logs on fire and then throw them in a sea of fire. But I think they die if they fall in there anyway.
There's plenty of room between the spikes. Looks fine.
Now, if anybody walked on that plank, that'd be a good thing to light on fire. But nobody can move. They're all tied down.
Okay, well, let's take a movement.
Guidance?
Here's what I'll say about it. It says at the bonfire... Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you want to try to do some extra damage, I think it's just going to do extra damage to the target that you cast it on. I don't think it's going to do damage to everybody here. Because that's really outside the scope of a cantrip, I think. But if you want to cast the bonfire on one of these guys, it's going to burn up their... That could do extra damage and burn up.
Will it?
Hold on. What's my range on...
Yeah, how would the icicles fare?
Yeah, I was thinking about Cold Boy over there who hit me.
Cold Boy. Hey, Cold Boy.
What is... Derp. What is the range on...
60 feet.
Range.
Okay.
It doesn't ignite items that are being carried. It specifies that it doesn't burn items that are worn or carried. I think it's just, who do you want to use your action on? Or you can dodge, or you can hide, or you can move.
Anything.
What do we want to do?
You could just attack. That ogre's taking disadvantage right now taking advantage on attacks. You could just poke him with a sling.
I'll come over here. That 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I have a
spike.
Let's try the moonsicle. I guess. Moonsicle?
Okay, make an attack.
Button. Hit the button. Wait, what? Why is it not?
It might be something weird with it being a magic item. It's a d20. You add 3 plus 3.
D20 plus 3.
Yay!
That's a hit. It does 1d4 plus 1 damage.
Jeez.
Buzz. 3 damage to Robert Goblin over here, bypassing his quite high AC with a 20. I just want to stop the ruffian.
Why are you ruffianing
Porco
me?
Lard, yeah, Porco and Lard are gonna go completely tangled up. They're gonna repeat this stupid strength check because it's about all that they can do.
You don't get a turn. You don't get a turn. Nobody gets a turn.
How long does the spell last? How long does the tackle last?
Uh,
A minute?
Longer
Okay.
than 6 seconds.
Porco and Lard are... They're screwed. They can't do anything to get out of this. They fail to save.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's all good. Yeah, that's all good. Good. Cold Nose is gonna go for Savannah.
Oh, nice.
Cold Nose is their only hope.
Let's kill him. He's the one that's damaging us. Meanwhile, Carl is just gonna be like mowing down everyone that's entangled right now. It's like, well, sure is a shame.
This lawn mowing over here. Cold Nose rolls a 13 and misses. He throws a spear at you. Doesn't quite find its mark. Goes wide. That's Cold Nose. Can't do much else. Herc is actually going to attack. He's not going to attempt to break out of the vines. He's just going to attack Carla with 2 hand axe attacks with disadvantage because he's restrained. He's almost just as likely to fail these as he is to... He actually hits 1 hand axe attack. The other one misses as he's really struggling to fight these vines, doing 5 half to 2 damage to you, Carla.
2 damage?
Yeah, 2 damage. He does 2 damage to Carla.
No.
He's just like... just swinging wildly with these axes and just like barely gets a little tiny cut off on you.
She just grabs the axe blade side with her hand and just stares him down.
Yeah,
that's the 2 damage.
Dorian, you're up.
All right.
Step
Well,
aside.
yeah. About that. Well, I mean, you make a strong argument. To be fair.
I promise not to strike you.
Oh well, I mean, in that case, of course.
Even though I just did.
Yeah, I'll just step aside, I suppose.
And?
Okay, what do you want to do with your turn?
Okay, I'll step aside, and then I'm gonna break out the shattered star.
Oh God.
What?
You remembered.
Yeah, I remembered. So that allows me to once daily
my guys are screwed.
cast Shatter with a 10-foot radius. A very annoying. Wait, it says not enough charge. 0 of 0.
Just cast it anyway.
Okay.
Sometimes when you import custom items, it does not play nice with the charges.
Gotcha.
Just say cast anyway. I don't care about my charges.
Yeah. All right. So the range is a little unfortunate, but I'm at least able to get these guys right here.
Okay, con saves. This is good because the restraint doesn't give them disadvantage on this. This is great.
Yeah, enjoy that.
But this is like gonna do half no matter what, right?
Half no matter what?
It's like even if they save, it does half, or what's the deal?
Oh yes, so it's 3d8, but
go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll that damage then.
Half on a successful
yeah,
right,
because
so
no matter what, you're doing damage here.
Look at those shiny dice. Look at
Ooh.
that. That's pretty. So 14 on a fail, 7 on a save. So that's still at least 14 total damage on the board for them.
No, that's great. They both save. The Ogre saved pretty handily. The Porco and Lard just barely saved on your 14 DC.
Porco and Lard both made their saves. Okay, that's still 7 apiece is still great. That's more than I could do normally, so I'll take it.
They're acting as one unit right now.
They are one.
Yeah, currently at the current moment.
All right, there you go. Let's see if I can delete that template.
Dorian hits this like heavy metal cord. And you see like splinters and dirt and dust go flying as the shatter spell goes off. Your ears are ringing.
Isn't there like a Lindsay Sterling video to that effect?
Might be, yeah. He's Lindsay Sterling it.
All right, that is my turn. I'm not using any bonus actions. I'm pretty much out of bonus actions.
A question regarding cone ranges. If I'm standing here, just south of where Carla is, and I shoot a cone up and to the right, would that hit both Herc and Porco if it was 15 feet long?
15 feet long would exactly hit These two guys, yeah. If you were standing in that spot, yeah, that's the spot you need to be in, and you wouldn't hit Carla. It would be like, it's like 5, and then this would be. I don't know actually. Wait a second, because this is 10. Diagonals are funky. Yeah, it'll hit both of them, sure.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and move over here. That's 30 feet of movement.
Great.
And I'm going to use my Burning Hands scroll.
Great. Good. Burning Hands. What kind of damage are we looking at on Burning Hands? You know, I noticed that it's not giving the item card descriptions. Maybe I can switch the things back now that it's finally hiding the ability descriptions.
Oh, I completely
Whatever
lost
was
that.
causing that. Okay, so that's 3d6 damage on a failed save, half as much on a successful one. Ignites
hot.
any flammable objects in the area that aren't being worn or carried. This might... I don't know how this there's not a rule that's like, if a player uses a fire spell on an entangle spell, this happens. Like, there's no rule about that.
No.
Like, okay, they're gonna make... Let's just see what they roll first. They're gonna make dex saves here. Which they make with disadvantage, because they're restrained currently.
So I'm rolling just 3d6?
3d6, that's right.
Just once, not once for each of them.
Just one time. They're both going to take the same amount of damage. Okay, so Herc actually saves, and taking half. Which is, I guess, 7. Rounding in your favor. But Porco and Lard fail.
Oh, Porco and Lard. I'm sorry.
Their bacon's cooked.
Yeah, you guys smell the smell of... It smells pretty good, actually. Burning bacon over here.
Bacon.
As they're frying up in there. Still... I don't know if this Burning Hands get rid of Entangle. I don't know how this works.
If the spell doesn't say it, it doesn't do it.
So nothing is gonna happen. There's gonna be no interaction here. I think is what we're gonna roll, I guess. Because they don't have HP. It doesn't say they're flammable, like Web does. So, we're just gonna rule that nothing happens with that interaction, and it just does the damage. Both Herc and Porco and Lard are looking incredibly injured. On their last leg. And the Ogre. The Ogre, actually. The Ogre is looking... I mean, comparatively, the Ogre's the most injured one of them all. Because he has the highest health pool, but...
let's see what he does.
They're all incredibly hurt. Let's see what he does. I guess let's see what he does. Let's see if he... Okay, here we go. He's going to make a strength check.
He respectfully asks to leave.
Here. There you go. He rolled a 2. He rolled a 2. He rolled 2 1s and a 2 on these checks.
Alright, cool.
He's getting stronger.
I thought I rolled that publicly, but I didn't show it publicly. That's fine. I showed it to you guys.
Alright, there it is. Alright.
I know what's happening. They finally fixed that add-on that's supposed to hide certain elements from you guys, but not everything, and it's like gone to all default options. It's hiding everything. I'll look at that later. Okay, the Ogre can do absolutely nothing this turn. It's completely entangled.
He never gets to act.
He never
Nobody
ever
lets Ogre do anything.
He never acted. He has this. He had this cool chain attack. He was gonna chain you guys. It's gonna be so cool. Glane, you're up.
So anyway, he's almost dead.
So Glane
reaches back. Tired.
Glane reaches back for a weapon, pulls out Dawn Rises.
Pulls out Gary.
Runs into the light to make sure it catches the sunlight. The sword catches the sunlight in my run-up, and I plunge it into Robert Goblin. Good night, Bob.
Great, make an attack with Dawn Rises.
Alright.
Engulfed in light. It's 1d4 radiant damage, and heals its wielder.
He's not hurt.
Uh-oh.
You see that Robert easily blocks your attack with his shield. It knocks it away. Ding! It's total miss.
I've deflected your attack.
I'm going to pay for that.
I would like to use my disengage.
Good.
Yeah, great.
How far could I go?
Well, canonically, you spent 20 feet of movement running around here. No, I'm just kidding. That was 5, right? You stepped forward 5 feet. So, you have up to 25 feet to go anywhere you want with your disengage.
Bye. Come on!
Alright.
Fighting again?
I'm not take!
Carla's
Carla's over there!
Criminal! I hope my allies are doing okay.
I'm sure they're doing great.
I refuse to look over there.
Cannot waste any valuable time in combat.
My turn's coming up soon.
It's very Sam the
Carla.
Eagle.
Carla, it's turn.
Oh, if only she could cleave.
No, it's very frustrating. I guess I should just go.
Hey, look, I don't have my bot turned on, so it didn't even make a noise.
Your weapon is still light and has a thrown property and
Thank you,
returns to your
Dove.
hand, so you still can attack within a range of 20 essentially. Is what your situation is.
I just can get the one right in front of me. Herc. Yeah. I think that's
Sure. Yeah, Herc.
yeah.
Trying to hurt Herc.
He smacked you.
Are you trying to kill?
him?
Are you trying to kill him, or are you trying to knock him out?
Oh,
Because this would be the time to decide to declare that. It's very simple. You can just say I'm doing non-lethal damage, and you can choose to knock people out instead of killing them.
alright, I'll do non-lethal
but-
damage.
If I'm not encouraging you to do that if you don't want to, but I just want to
mean-
offer it.
What does everyone else think? Do we want to kill people or not kill people?
Well, more alive people would help us in the long run, I think.
And I guess they
Yeah,
put
if
the
we're-
killing Bob.
best fighters
You look down at Herc. He's absolutely red-eyed, snarling, frothing at the mouth. He's trying to. Yeah, he's coming at you.
Alright, I'll
What'd
do
you decide?
non-lethal damage.
Okay. Okay, great. Go ahead and attack him.
Cool.
With advantage, he's still restrained. You don't even have to do reckless attack to get advantage. Okay, that's almost certainly going to knock him out, but go ahead and just roll the damage anyway. This is C. I think it is possible for you if you roll 1 on the damage roll. I think he might still be out. Okay, well, good. Okay, all right.
Did I accidentally kill him or is he
No, you didn't do over twice his hit point total, which would instantly kill him.
That borders on decapitation at that point.
I didn't mean to.
Oops.
So he is. I'm gonna put a skull on him, but he's just knocked out.
Okay.
You hit him with the flat side of your axe and knock him out.
But really hard.
Yeah, you think he might have a concussion, but you think it might not matter that much for Herc. Possibly.
Not huge.
Be alright. It might help him, actually.
He's fine. He's fine.
He's like gonna wake up more well-adjusted. He's like, wow, I
Oh,
was really overreacting the other day.
gosh, I was really letting my rage get the best of me.
Yeah, I can't rage like I used to. Do you have any movement or anything? Because you do still have your movements.
Ooh.
And up if you'd like to move.
Let's see. I guess I'll just
This,
make
all that is just difficult terrain. So it just means you take double movement, like half movement, to go through it.
right there.
It's not harmful anymore. It never was harmful in the traditional sense.
Make my way closer so that I can get the guy in the corner over there.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah,
Great.
I have
cool.
a question
Well,
before Robert's turn.
yeah. Go ahead.
Do enemies suffer attacks of opportunity like we do?
Yes.
seems
Yeah,
like
He's got to
you
walk
guys-
through
question.
2 people to get to me.
Yes.
Well, just one really, if you wanted to, which he might.
Yeah, I guess he could stop short of me and still get me.
Yeah, he doesn't have to. He has to leave Dorian's threatened area.
Mm-hmm. So if he
So he
leaves
wouldn't.
one of these
I
squares.
feel like Dorian might just let him pass.
Yeah, I was about to say, like,
Like,
go ahead. Actually,
But Savannah's there too.
return the favor. Yeah.
Savannah could kick him into the pit.
He's gonna go for Glane.
Yeah.
He's just gonna walk away from Savannah.
Anybody doing anything about this?
What? Huh?
Anybody at all?
What? Sorry, was there someone that was hiding behind me and using me as cover?
All right. 2 attacks coming in on Glane with the longsword.
The problem is if I attack him, he might attack me. And we can't all have great AC.
Glane has an AC of 15. Robert Goblin rolled a 14 and 11, missing both attacks. Savannah, you're up.
I'd like to glare him in the eyes as he misses each time.
Yeah, you're just dodging out of the way.
Just smiling.
This is very disappointing.
What exactly is it you do here, Bob?
I follow orders.
Poorly.
Herc, are you okay?
So let me know if you're okay back there and need assistance.
He's very angrily unconscious.
Yeah, he's twitching. He's just twitching. like he's like a cat sleeping, kind of. He just like.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, I'm going to Archer Bolt Cold Nose.
Oh, Cold
Great,
Nose
yeah.
is still back there, causing problems.
That's a spell attack. So I think you just add a +6 to that.
6.
1d8 plus your wisdom. Okay. But I have to roll to attack first,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, 1d20, adding 6. I do believe that's what your spell attack modifier is. Yeah, +6. 13 on Cold Nose. That actually does not hit. That misses.
It teased me with a 17 right before it rolled the rest of the way over. That was rude.
Does that.
That's bonus action, and you have your action. Cold Nose sticks his tongue out at you.
5, 10, 15, 20. I'm gonna use my feline agility to make sure I get all the way to him.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's... Yeah, you could definitely do that. More than enough
And
movement. He's like trying to taunt you a second ago, and you like get to him so fast.
does he squeak? I'd like it if he squeaked. We're gonna use the scimitar because it has higher damage. There's that 17 I wanted.
Okay, that hits.
Eight damage.
Reasonable.
8 damage. He is on death's door as well now. All these guys are looking so bad, except Robert is looking not as bad, but it's not great either.
She hisses at him and growls.
He hisses back at you. Okay, Porco and Lard fail to break themselves free. Herc is
It's done nothing.
down. Cold Nose is just going to fight the person who's right in front of him. He's going to take a jab with his icicle spear. He rolled a 14, which I don't think is high enough for Savannah.
Nope.
Great.
16.
Well, and then we're going to move right on to Dorian. That was a speed round for those guys.
Look at that. Dorian's in, Dorian's in a reasonable position here to actually do something. Weird. Alright, I'm going to... Robert Goblin's making me a little uncomfortable still being around here, you know?
We could team up against him.
That's a good point. We might stand a chance.
Old Bobby G.
All right.
Bobby G.
I'm going to try and just vicious mockery on Cold Nose.
Okay.
Let's see if this does it.
That's a charisma save, I think.
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom save. Great. He's gonna roll wisdom. It's a fail.
And there's 4 damage on top of that.
Yeah, that kills him.
I killed him.
I mean, technically you can't do a non-lethal spell.
Oh,
but, like,
yeah, that's.
I might
him.
allow it just because we're in an arena setting. Like maybe because it's not.
Yeah.
Do you want to kill? Do you want him to live? I'll just let you decide.
I don't like him. I know nothing about him, but I don't like him because he's the one who's done damage to us.
Yeah, he got a crit right away. Most capable fighter here.
Yeah.
Which means he could be useful. Yeah.
Stand down!
Okay. he just like lays down on the ground. He's like, okay, yeah, all right.
Vicious mockery.
Like,
The lady, the cat lady's gonna kill me.
The lady with the cat is gonna kill me.
All right, Dagwin. You see these two enemies in front of you looking bad.
I'm gonna do another twinned ice knife on Porco and Lard and the ogre.
A non-lethal knife. A non-lethal knife.
Non-lethal knives, right?
Yeah, non-lethal ones.
Yeah.
Mockery, vicious mockery I can see being non-lethal. I don't know if you can do non-lethal knives.
Depends where you poke 'em.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and make those attack rolls.
I would also like to use my Tides of Chaos on the first attack roll.
You don't have to because they're both entangled. They're both. You get
No,
entangled.
see. Oh, I see. Okay.
Well, it's icy.
Ice knife. Let's do Porco and Lard first. Attack with advantage.
Never stood a chance.
Oh no, that's
Never
not
stood a
funny.
chance.
Definitely gonna take him out.
Critical.
Oh gosh, there's so many
What is all
dice.
that? What is all that?
I clicked the button that said critical.
That's 23.
Okay. The really funny thing about that, though, is this is on Porco and Lard.
Porco,
Yes.
no, they're
Here's
dead.
here's
dead.
No, this is the crazy thing about that, and you're not gonna believe me, but he. It is a really unique interaction here because the cold damage only happens if he fails to save. So no cold damage. That 19 cold damage does not happen. Does he take half? I'm sorry, we already talked about this. Does he take half? He takes none of that cold damage. He takes 4 piercing damage, which puts him at 1 hit point. From the 5 that he had. So he actually doesn't go down for that crit, which is wild to think about. Just a weird thing about how he failed. The save, he made the save. So the majority of that massive damage actually leaves him standing with 1 hit point.
All right. And then
Go ahead
the
and
next
attack the
one
ogre.
on.
I'll let you know right now, the ogre has a 1 on his save. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun?
That is very fun.
We love
Isn't
that.
that fun? So whatever this rolls does, if this hits, this does happen to the ogre, for sure. Okay, that hits. That's enough to hit the ogre. So now you roll damage. All of this damage is happening. 11 is enough to kill the ogre.
Non-lethally kill him.
Non-lethally.
Okay, good fight. Lays down. The vines are still like writhing around him and like tightening on him. He just lays down. He just lays down and just accepts it.
That was a cool ogre
Porco
fight.
and Lard still standing there. No, Porco and Lard weirdly still up from that. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me. Just not an automatic surge, but just a. If you roll in that one, a surge happens. Okay, nothing happens. Blaine, you're up.
Oh.
Between my 3 bonus actions or my other bonus action, I want to grapple this guy and throw him into the pit of spikes.
Non-lethally.
Okay.
No,
lethally. None of the bonus actions you have can do that. You have no bonus actions that could do that. But you can grapple him as an action.
All right, yeah, let's do that.
I don't know how you're gonna get him into the pit.
He seems a bit stronger than you, Blaine.
I don't know how you're gonna get him into the pit.
Whatever, maybe bring it up on.
If you both go in the pit, if you grapple him and then you both go into the pit, that's the only way that I could see you getting. Unless you have some other ability that lets you, like grappling him is gonna take an action. So you're gonna have to tell me how you're getting him into the pit if you want to grapple him.
Can't I do like a Ken thing where I like grab him and get on my back so I'm like anchored on the floor and then I just kind of send him flying over my head?
I don't think you have a move that does
That's not what a grapple is. A grapple just lets you grab somebody. So you can make a shove attack. A shove attack could mechanically represent what you're trying to do, but you need to get him to the pit first to shove him in. It's only going to shove him 5 feet. It's going to require more than one maneuver to get him into this pit. One to move him there, and one to push him in. Unless you have an ability that can push him, 15 feet here, which is where he needs to go.
I don't think I have any of that.
You can absolutely grapple him, and then when you're grappling somebody, you can move with them at half movement. So you can move him half your movement, but you still don't have a way to actually get him to go into the pit, unless you're gonna just jump into the pit with him, and you both would make a save for the spikes. I'll allow that, which is definitely a risk.
Which is crazy, yeah.
Which is crazy to say.
That's the best you're gonna get, and it's awful.
Okay, I guess I'm not going to throwing him in the pit. I just really wanted to. I'm gonna. Now that I'm fully standing in the sunlight.
You just don't have the tools to do that. He's got like full plate armor that you're trying to move over 15 feet.
If your goal is to get him in the pit,
ask.
I think your best bet is to take him out and then drag him into the pit while he's unconscious.
Or cut his head off and kick it into the pit.
I mean, he's dead set on attacking you, right? So you could lure him over there, you know, potentially.
Oh no!
I don't know if the combat's gonna last long enough for that sort of payoff.
Get on the plank.
All right, I would like to at least, because I don't want him to pull some.
Here's what you can do. Here's what you can do. You can use a disengage bonus action. You can use a movement, and then you can ready an action to make a shove attack on him when he approaches you, which is going to be similar mechanically an opposed check. That's the best I can do. If you want to make him go into the pit, I think that's the best I have for you.
No, I think
ready in action, knowing that he's chasing you.
I'm gonna reconfigure my tactics. I'm just gonna get on the other side of him so he can't push me into the pit, and then hit him with the Dawn Rising.
Okay. Yeah. Great.
The pit's just a little too far for me, and I don't want to go in there myself.
I don't blame you. Looks gross down there.
Yeah. And get that, and then go back.
I don't think they've cleaned the pit in a while.
It's full of disease.
Why would you clean a pit?
Dorko goes in
Come
there.
on.
He's like, treats.
That does not hit Robert's goblin.
This thing.
Sword sucks.
Was it like a big miss?
Your sword is awful.
Was it a near miss? No, you see that he's pretty handily, just has his shield up blocking you.
This thing says I have some kind of +1 bonus, but that's to the attack of the damage, right?
It is adding, yeah, it's both, and it is adding that. You get a +3 from your dex, you get a +2 from your proficiency, and you're getting a +1 from your magic weapon. It just has a high AC. He's hard to hit with an attack. That's his whole.
And I can't do like a two-handed fighting thing unless I connect with the first hit, right?
I think just if you make an attack, you can do a two-handed fighting thing.
Should have done that last time. All right.
It requires a bonus action, so you'll be using your bonus action for that.
That's fine. I don't have anything else to do. Can I do that with my rapier, or does that have to be a smaller weapon like a dagger?
Because of your feet, you can do that with a rapier. Your feet allows you to wield any weapon in your offhand, any one-handed weapon.
All right, let's try that then. All right.
All right. Well, that's a miss.
Cool.
He's strong.
Carla, it's your turn.
There's one person alive next to you.
But that person had
and Lard in front of you.
Left, right?
Yeah.
So I could just
And let someone else clean it up.
and get this other guy who is not taking much damage right now. Because I can
Sure.
throw anything at him.
Yeah, you could.
Just get a
Whatever you'd
little
like.
closer. Just go like here-ish. And then throw my great
Oh.
Oh boy.
Non-lethally.
Non-lethally. Hey, Robert. Duck.
That hits Robert Goblin.
Oh no.
21 hits.
Non-lethally. Hit him with an axe. Throw an axe at him.
Non-lethally throw my great axe at him.
For 12 damage.
Just the blunts, you know?
Yeah.
I was already pre-rolling some attacks for GameCube. GameCube was about to take 2 hits, but with exactly 12 health, for Robert Goblin raises up his sword. All right, time to end this. Big axe hits him in the back of the head. Falls on top of you, Glane. You see that Porco, Lard? Porco says, "All right, I'm good. I'm good.
Surrender.
I give up."
Oops.
Savannah, it's your turn. I don't know if you want to accept Porco's surrender. You guys, are we done?
Yeah, I will acknowledge the surrender and drop the whole glowing in the dark star thing, because I think that, you know, I've proven my point.
Yeah, you guys win. You guys win the Battle of the Goblin Pits.
I'd like to
Porco
push Robert
survives.
off of me and plunge my daggers into his face.
No. He's already down.
You can execute.
He hates me.
Robert
This
Goblin.
guy's gonna be a whole thing. The audience wants blood.
You've already surrendered. You don't
You're
kill
getting,
people after they've
you're getting
surrendered.
ahead of the, you're like
At least I
you're
died
just
with honor.
visualizing him just being
Can I do
in
lethal
episodes.
damage on
Are we the bad guys?
brain? Doing dumb stuff?
The
That whole
ghosts
thing
that
is
talk
just
to
very
me
honorable.
are cheering.
Can I do no
Robert
lethal
is
damage
dead.
on Blaine to stop him?
Are you really gonna kill Robert? Are you gonna kill Robert Goblin? Yeah, you can stop him.
He's
Go-
already
yeah,
I'm
go-
dead.
gonna stop him.
Oh no.
So go ahead and okay. So here's what I'm gonna need. I'm gonna need Glane and to roll. It's gonna be an opposed check. You're gonna.
We're a good
how
team.
are you stopping him? What are you doing to stop him? You see him raising up his blade. What does Carla do?
I'm gonna throw my
Are you trying to grab him?
pickaxe at non-lethally.
You want to knock him out non-lethally? Okay. I need Carla. We're gonna end the combat. I think just really quickly. I want you guys to roll initiative. And we're just gonna see who goes first. That's
Just
how we're
the
gonna
two of
settle
them?
this. Yeah. So you guys are just gonna roll initiative to see
Fight,
who. Unless
fight,
one of you guys is also trying to stop him.
Carla just had a moment. She was back in the fighting pits for a moment there, and
Oh.
All right. Carla acts first. We don't have to do PvP,
yeah, she
but
axes
that's
first.
going to represent that Carla is able to step in first and stop this.
Jeez.
If that's what she's trying to do.
This isn't a reaction.
No, this feels appropriate.
Are you really need to hit him?
You don't have to. I think Al said this counts as
Oh, okay,
you
that sounds
stop
good.
him.
Okay.
You guys want to fight? If you really want to fight each other,
She just
the only reason
casually
honestly, the
critical
only reason
hit.
I'm against it is I just don't want us to use too much time fighting each other, like because we have limited time. But if that's what we want to do, I'm more than happy
Please
to
do
see who
not
wins this
kill
fight.
the surrendering, unconscious
I will just stop
NPCs.
him.
We may lose some leeway.
We are keeping them alive for a reason.
You can kill them. It's fine.
If any of
I don't
these
mind.
goblins are gonna die, it's Cold Nose.
Hmm.
Robert Goblin was such an important character in the story, and I invented him not as a joke, but as a real serious character with a real heart.
Yeah,
And he wasn't definitely not a silly goblin character. with
just
a
like
stupid
Dorko.
name.
You can tell from his name.
Definitely not every single one of these guys was a joke. They were all super serious, real guys.
I only leave because Dorian drags me out as I fight to return.
Yeah, they
to
do drag you out of the
arena.
pits.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carla's seen this before. A lot of people get in there in their first fight,
madness.
and they get the blood. Pit madness, yeah.
She's got the pit madness.
Yeah, but the adrenaline, these new fighters, they don't know how to let it go when the fight's over.
Fighters these days.
All right,
Oh.
let's get out of the pits.
Oh my gosh.
What a fight! What a fight! What an absolute slaughter for my guys. I got one good hit in on Cold Nose. Stupid Cold Nose.
Cold Nose. And then three of them just don't get to act for the entire
I'm sorry
fight.
you lost your characters.
That's all right. I love to lose. I love when the players win. That's the best thing. It's no, unironically, I do like that. That was a good
Oh.
fight. I enjoyed it a lot. It sounds like I don't. It really, no matter how hard I make it sound sincere, it sounds like I'm mad that I lost. No, guys, it was really
no,
good.
I'm really glad I lost. I just wish I lost in a cooler way.
I mean, I pretty much just locked down 3/5 of the field.
You
at the
really
beginning of
did.
Turn one.
Like, the fact
No.
that they all consistently were failing their saves is
Well,
hilarious.
the goblins are like pretty not that good rate on strength, most of them.
But the ogre-
was the one I was really surprised kept rolling nat 1s and 2s to get out of that. That was the really bad part. Was when the ogre was just totally locked down.
He had a really cool attack.
I was ready
The
to use
whole
silver
fight.
barbs on him too.
He just had this
The whole
AoE
fight, he
chain
rolled a
sweep
4.
attack that he was gonna come and like hit all of you guys with a big chain, and it was gonna be cool.
Anyway, it didn't happen.
It didn't happen though.
Now
Yeah.
we can use him on enemies.
It's true.
Because now he's our friend, I'm pretty sure.
I think that's how it works. Carla's
You
got a
guys
pretty
are
good
all, you guys
understanding
are all
of pit
friends now. Yeah.
fights. Especially Robert
Robert, I
Goblin.
think-
He's our best friend. We're bringing him with us.
GQ wanted to kill him so bad.
Between Dorko and Robert Goblin, we're racking up a whole bunch of friends.
Don't you love these guys?
Yeah. Sorry, Glane, you're off the team. Robert Goblin is coming aboard. We have to keep our numbers at less than 6. Or equal to 6.
Is too many.
Or we have to change our name.
Well, Gary's out. Robert Goblin's in.
Sorry. Gary belongs to Robert Goblin now.
You mailed Gary back to your mom.
Put a little stamp on his head.
The chief, about that. What were we doing again? D&D. You guys have proven yourselves in the pits. The chief says, "All right, you made your points. What do you want? What do you want us to do? What do you want to do? My guys will fight his guys for you, so you can deal with the big guy."
Well, that's a start.
We mostly need a distraction.
That levels the playing field for us. I think our next stop is we need to figure out
lair.
Prometheus's base of operations.
He says the chief knows. The chief tells you that he is based. Let's take a look at the map.
Yeah.
Here, real quick.
So this Prometheus guy, where's he hanging out these days, huh?
So Prometheus has made his base past the gates of Lod. He tells you.
Interesting.
It's across a great ravine, and there's this huge mountain. This was like a land of giants, way back in the day that he has made his home. So it's like a mountainous cavern that's made that was hollowed out by giants to live in. That's been long abandoned, but Prometheus has taken it over.
Uncomfortably close to our current position.
Yeah, not far. Just across the ravine.
Yeah. One
there's
major
an old
bridge.
Yeah, there's an old bridge. Rickety as hell. Out at the ravine. Probably should be good. Should be safe. We'll just bring the whole army across that, and then we'll be good.
I don't think that serpent in that lake is going to help us.
Like, aren't we trying to kind of be a little sneakier than that? A bit more strategic.
Are we capable of stealth?
I don't think that we're planning to go and really confront Prometheus over there. We're just scoping things out. Is that?
I think our plan is scope, and if the opportunity presents itself, do a little bit of maybe some kind of stealthy infiltration. I mean, it's very unlikely he just leaves the orb lying around when he goes to get a bite to eat.
We could have Bearbite set up his people down at the lake that Valmoira recommended, and see what we can do.
True.
That way we don't have to march a whole bunch of goblins across a rickety bridge over a ravine.
I mean, distance-wise, in terms of like moving the army, like moving the troops, it's pretty equidistant. Like you could do something over here at the ravine, or you could do something over here at the lake with the troops, and both could be, pretty viable. They're both nearby each other.
Yeah.
So if you want to try to lure into some confrontation near to the lake and lure him in, you could do something like that. Or if you wanted to fight him at the bridge while you guys sneak behind enemy lines, maybe it sounds like you're trying to do something like that. You could maybe do something like that and have the goblins distract the forces at the bridge or something. I don't know. I'm just trying to throw out ideas. None of the above.
Yeah.
It's fine as well.
I think the idea is right now we can't face Prometheus. The armies will help balance the scales a little bit more, but even without the army of goblins he has at his back, he still has the orb. He could just level us, barely lifting a finger. Even without the orb, that's still not looking great for us. So we need to find some way of tilting the scales in our favor.
I can't cast Entangle again till we sleep.
Good point, Carla.
You just saw that these goblins are tough customers.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
pits,
2 out of 5 of these guys can attack once or
Hit it.
twice.
Because they weren't very good.
Yeah.
We got
No wonder
Robert
you were left
Goblin on our
behind.
team, so I don't
I
think.
think I would call it a level playing field.
Yeah.
I mean, the original plan was that you would use you would lay a trap at the lake, and that was going to be how you guys were going to even the odds.
Yeah, that was our hope. What do you think, guys? Can we?
I feel like we should take a long rest and think about this.
I mean, yeah, I think that you're going to take a long
But we
rest
do need to
before
know
you-
what next session will be.
Yes, I want to know what to prepare for the next session. I want to know, what do you guys want to do?
At the lake, let's see here.
I mean, I think the lake,
Ramirez.
the lake would be a good
Ramirez.
shot if we wanted to actually confront. But
Mhm. I don't think
whether
we're
or
ready.
not we want to do that confrontation now, I don't think that's the case.
If we can stealth our way to the gates of Laud and find anything we can use against Prometheus there, I doubt he keeps a journal of plans or a big map with some big annotations that, aha, I see now what we need to do. I don't know what we would be looking for.
I mean, I think like there's a possibility of sneaking in and maybe stealing the ore, but I think the danger there is that you're putting yourselves in a position where what if you fail your stealth check, and then you have to face him with no advantage at all. Whereas you've already kind of laid some groundwork on a plan and you have parts in place, you may just want to go with the original plan. Or I mean, or like I just don't know like what. Yeah, like it's what Dobbs is saying. Like, what is the goal of sneaking into his base? To fight him without anybody there? Because that's what it sounds like. It might like. How do the goblins come into play for that?
Well, I don't think so. I don't think if we were going to fight him, that going to his lair would be a good idea. I think we'd have a bigger advantage at the lake with the fire snake.
Yeah. That would help if we're ready to just outright go for it.
We could do something to the bridge while people are coming across it as part of the trap.
I
Rig the
mean, what
bridge.
if we rather than trying to sneak off with the orb, what if we try to do some kind of sabotage where he is? Like, what if I don't think anybody has access to any poison right now, but what if we try to poison him or something? Just something to
swap out his orb for a decoy orb that we have.
Could just take out the bridge and trap them there.
I think that'll
Starve them
temporarily
out.
slow him down.
Chief Bearbite looks out of the map with you guys. He says, "Prometheus, he ain't that smart. Okay, he's got a hot head, but you know, he likes shiny things. He likes strong soldiers. There's ways that we can lure him out. You could tell him that you want to join up with them, or you could tell him that you want to give him his cat back."
I don't know if we burned that bridge since I was flipping him off as we drove off in the cart.
And that second one's a no.
It's just bait, not the truth.
He might go for it. You know, with the right words.
We could dress Dorko up as a cat, and we'll get him in the mix.
I love getting Dorko involved in this plan.
I nod excitedly.
Okay, so we're
You
gonna
know,
take Dorko, tie him on a string on a stick, and wave him in the air, and see what happens.
Yeah, we should do that. But what are we gonna do about Prometheus?
Should we ask Valmoira for help here? Or are we gonna save that last bit for when it's time to engage in combat?
I think we call her when we're ready.
Okay.
I agree.
I think we should set up at the lake, and maybe send a small. While everybody gets settled and we kind of set up, maybe do a small scouting mission.
Scout the gates.
Yeah.
We can, and you know what? We have that invisibility spell now. Glaine's very sneaky and disposal. I mean,
Send him in alone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Less checks to fail.
I mean, yes,
So the
we can
plan
send
is
him in invisible and alone.
I love it.
Here's my concern: is that I still feel like you're as players, you're not giving me a concrete plan. You want to scout it out. That doesn't give me anything.
Okay,
What am I going to prepare for you for
yeah,
next session?
that's my thing.
Right?
Is
where are you going to fight Prometheus? We gotta fight him. We gotta kill Prometheus.
The plan is
That's
to
the whole
fight him
goal
at the
of
lake.
campaign.
The plan is to fight him at the lake. The hope is that if we go to the gates, and this is where we're kind of sort of like, can we have this? Can we have that? Ideally, he leaves the orb out when he goes to sleep. Glenn can sneak in and take it, tamper, I don't know, anything.
So
but that seems
to try to steal the orb.
It seems unlikely that he does that, but maybe he's dumb enough to.
If we had just some way of deactivating it and like just leaving it with him and him not realizing that it was deactivated,
a little arcana, something or other. Yeah, if the impetus is on us to come up with an answer, we get there. The orb is lightly guarded. We can do something with it to either make it unusable for him for the big fight, whether that's take it from him and we can't figure out how to use it, but we can at least keep it from him while we fight him.
We need to put it back in the ruins.
Eventually.
It's imperative to stop this whole, weather apocalypse thing. So we can't just sabotage it or booby trap it per se. Like, the safety of the orb is also a consideration.
But yeah, in answer to your question, Al, that's what we're hoping for. Whether or not that's us hoping for too much is up to you. But I think us getting there, a little bit of a mission to stealth our way in or something, get the orb, and then leave, head for the lake, and prepare for a fight with Prometheus de-armed but still a threatening entity.
So we'll go to the lake, get all of our allies set up, and get whatever groundwork needs to be done in place. Then the party will do a scouting mission to Laud, and then however that plays out.
It's a burglary.
Yeah, you can run a little burglary.
We're going to burgle.
And then we
elaborate heist. Huh?
And then when we get found, we run for our lives.
Yep.
And lead him to the lake.
Lead him to the lake.
Yeah. Into what
like
may be something of an ambush, perhaps.
Sounds good to me.
Prepare everything.
The fact that
I'll
there's
just prepare
one
everything.
bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bridge intrigues me.
Yeah, I do like the idea of setting up some sort of like explosives or something on the bridge after we've crossed it.
I mean, it's a choke point.
Yeah.
If he's sending an army across a choke point, the thing is, if he's sending an army across, it's like we can't. I don't know. There's issues there of timing something that may not be something we can precisely time.
Could we use the fact that...
what you guys can do before next session is take a long rest in D&D Beyond. Make sure everybody takes a long rest. At some point, you guys will spend the night at Goblerado, and then set out next session in the morning, which I don't think is next week, right? We're off next week.
We're off 1 week.
And then the next week after next week, we're back.
The 29th, we are back.
Yep.
There we go.
I was anticipating next session to be the final session, but it sounds like we still have more that we want to do. So I don't know if we'll have this wrapped up in one more session. There might be one more after that.
It's hard to let go.
There's gonna be a fight. There's gonna be no, it's not even that. It's just I know there's gonna be a fight, and we know how fights, especially like a big boss fight, it's going to take time to do the fight.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we'll be able to finish. We'll see. I guess we'll see. We'll see. Or maybe if things go well enough, maybe you guys don't even need to fight him.
That seems unlikely. Yeah, Glenn just gets in there and slits his throat.
I mean, if you just, get some high rolls and get the heist goes off, and you maybe I don't know, maybe
he just struts out with the orb like I don't know what the big problem
right.
was.
Could
we
we
get
use
the
the
orb free and
fact?
clear, and that's it.
Could we use the fact that
maybe it's just a heist.
he knows who we all are, and these weren't the goblins that were good enough to take with him? Maybe we send these goblins to be like, hey, there are these guys over there, and I think they're a problem for you. Like they're trying to work for him, and
Oh,
you
like
guys
how
can
to
be the thing that draws him out. So
flush
that I
him
can get
out.
it.
We'll flush him out one way or the other.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll be a problem. I think if we just challenge him, even directly, like, hey, we want to kill you. Come get some. I think he'd take that.
You rang?
Whoa. There he is. Hey, what's up?
He's
Entangle.
huge.
Entangle. No!
Oh, I'm
No,
defeated. My one weakness, entangle.
It's such a wonderful spell.
What a great spell.
Yeah.
What a great
And
use
they
of that spell.
nerfed it from 3.5 too.
Yeah, we need to probably strategize, like, how to deal with him if he still has the orb. Like, make sure that we've got something to give him disadvantage, etc. All right. Well, cool. Alquest.
Good session. Good fight with
session.
the goblins. You guys finally got to fight the goblins.
Finally. That's
For
what
their
we were
help,
wanting.
not to
Yeah.
not to slaughter them.
Well, most of us didn't want to slaughter them.
I'm so glad that you guys are staunch allies of the goblins now.
Except
Everybody has
Blaine.
really come around and just kind of fallen in love with the goblins and their whole culture and really embraced it.
They're neutral.
Everybody's on board with that.
Everyone, all of us are very excited about the goblins being our friends now, especially Glaine. He loves it and doesn't want to stab any of them in the eyes anymore.
Yeah, you guys are honorary goblins now. What's your tribe name?
What's Dorko say about that?
Me join your tribe.
Oh, great.
My plan is all coming together.
What's your guy's name again? You guys have a name, right?
We're
But it's
the Timbersworn 6.
like Timbersworn Sex. Great. You're the Timbersworns.
There you go. Timbersworn
You're the
goblins.
Timbersworn tribe.
Yay.
It's
Way
kind
to
of like
get
the axe biter. You kind of
forget
copied
it.
the axe biters, but all right, no big deal. No big deal.
Yeah,
That's
forget
kind of their
about
whole
it.
thing is wood and lumber, but it's fine. You guys can have that too.
They love trees. They're just gnawing on them all the time. All right. Well, 2 weeks. We'll be back. Working our way towards the finale.
Yeah.
We're going to what is probably the final dungeon of the season. I mean, it's a cave.
Heist.
We're going for a heist, a dungeon heist.
The giant heist.
Giant dungeon heist.
See, before I wanted to find the cat burglar, now I don't want to find him.
See that? Yeah, there's some unanswered questions on
Yeah.
Glaine's plot still.
Who the heck is that cat burglar anyway?
It's Dorko.
That's Prometheus. Seems like Prometheus might have known him.
Yeah, so when we kill him, that's gonna be
We
rough.
can find a speak with dead scroll.
Kill him non-lethally, and then ask him questions.
I want to decapitate him non-lethally.
Non-lethally.
All right, everyone, thank you for hanging out. This has been Alquest. Al, we got any parting words for us?
No, I got nothing. I don't know. I got nothing.
Hey, well said. All right, good night, everybody. Thank you for
Angling.
playing. Yay,
Good night.
it's over.
My brain cell.